How's it going, everyone? I'm mostly saying this to people watching this in the future because we don't have a lot of people watching right now, but how's it going, Rogues Gallery? Today we're just going to be playing some Flesh and Blood with my good buddy Ian here. It is New Year's Eve for me and New Year's Day for him because he is from the future.
That's right.
And by the future I mean he's from New Zealand, which is in a weird time zone compared to where I am. We're at this weird cutoff point, even though that like both me from Oregon and Ian from New Zealand are like, I'm a lot closer to Ian than Az, for example, right? Who's in the UK. But because of just the way time zones and all that stuff works, I'm actually closer in time to Az than Ian, which is just weird to think about. In fact, as far as countries go, other than like continental countries, New Zealand and Japan have got to be like some of the closest ones to where I live. Other than like, you know, this in the same continent, you know, I'm not counting the Americas or Canada. Anyway, we're gonna play some Flesh and Blood today.
That's like no one counts Canada.
Yeah, even Canadians.
Hi, Bill.
Yeah, we're gonna play some Flesh and Blood. I have some decks. We're just gonna play some casual blitz. I want to play with my Lexi deck.
Sure.
That I've been kind of brewing and playing around with a little bit, but I'm going to play more with it. So it is my No Fuse 2.0 list. So it's not an Ice Lexi or anything like that. So just a heads up, you're not going to need any. Well, you might need a Frostbite here and there, but.
So I am playing. I'm playing some Dash today. Actually, that's the wrong. Nice. I wonder if I have. Is this? Oh, it is a double-sided.
Hello, Frankie says hello. 2023, buddy.
Yeah. I've already been out and about and worked for the first day of 2023, so that was cool. Went out and sold some coffee down on the waterfront here in Auckland. It's nice.
I got a very nice seasonal coffee from a local coffee roasters, Portland Coffee Roasters. That is like a. The flavor, it was like, what was it, like candied something and chocolate, and it doesn't really taste like that. It's just kind of like a little bit sweeter coffee, but still pretty dark. It's quite good.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, we don't really do the seasonal coffees here, mainly because, like, obviously it's summer here, so, like, the peppermint hot chocolate and stuff like that is not really necessarily a thing here.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's funny. I did have someone ask me the other day. I was like, "Oh, why don't you have gingerbread?" And I was like, "I tell you why I don't have gingerbread, because 2 years ago we had gingerbread, and it took me 6.5 months to get through a bottle of gingerbread flavoring, and that was giving it away free for most of that because it's like." It's very funny because it is so many of the seasonal flavors and stuff are inherently related to your side of the world seasons. So it's weird because for us, Christmas is all about, you know, taking a barbecue down to the beach and having you know, going for a swim and stuff like that. Whereas it's obviously very different on your side of the world.
Yeah. By the way, Ruler School TCG says Happy New Year, my friend. Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
For those who don't know, Ruler School is one of the OG Force of Will YouTubers, and nice. He's still with it. He's still trucking along with the Force of Will, which is awesome. So I admire that. I know in New Zealand, in fact, Sushi Night and owner Steve, friend of the channel, they do a lot of Force of Will stuff still, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I see it when they post about it on their thing.
Dude, I'm not saying that Force of Will's a dead game, but Steve has got a bit of a liking for dead card games. I saw today. I saw today pop up on my Facebook feed a photo of his recollection of Rage CCG cards.
Yeah, that's a game. Hey man, like, hey, he likes Vampire. Rage, I do believe is in the same universe. I believe it's the werewolf side. We still need to do that at some point. We still need to play some Vampire. I think it's...
Absolutely. And I believe there may have just been some new decks dropped for it as well.
I do have the 5th edition. Is it Vampire 5th edition? I bought that box. I bought the box set. So I have like 5 decks to choose from. Pretty sure I'm just gonna play Tremere because that's my favorite Vampire clan. Because I do know a little bit about World of Darkness and Vampire the Masquerade. Played some of the video games. Never played the tabletop RPG. I'd love to at some point. One thing that I would like to do, I don't know if anyone would actually be interested in watching it, but it'd be really fun to do like a D&D style campaign with like some Flesh and Blood friends. We still want to do an actual Flesh and Blood D&D thing with, it was me, Dead Summer Art, as Miss Chalice, I think it was just us, so it'd be like 4 people, so it'd be like a three-person crew. And we have like characters and stuff ready. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's the funniest part about this is we started this and started making and brewing the characters way before they announced the assassin class in Uprising or in Dynasty, and I made an assassin character. So like the fact that we actually have assassin now means that yeah, it's a real thing. Do it. Musty says do it.
Aaron, yeah. Do you want odds or evens?
Let's do odds. Yeah, I'm actually a really big fan of tabletop RPGs. I love D&D. Cyberpunk Red is actually pretty fun. And I've never played Vampire, but I know it's more social, less combat kind of stuff, but still.
It was even, so I did win that, so I will start.
How's my partner doing? Robin is not doing... She's doing okay. She's in a lot of pain. She has a lot of painkillers. She'll be fine for an hour or so without me. I got a lot of stuff ready. Got her meds all set. Yeah. Long story short, she now has many new metal plates in her arm. So that's what she's dealing with right now.
That is not fun.
Yeah, no. The good news is, jokingly, she asked the doctor if she'll now set off metal detectors, and he says probably not. So that's good at least. Yeah, we do have another friend of ours, Rachel, who lives in the Portland, Oregon area, and she got hit by a car like 5 or 6 years ago. And the person who hit her worked for the local government, and so she sued the expletive out of them and got a lot of money. And good. So Rachel she had to get a metal rod in her leg, and it does set off alarms. But she got enough money to buy a house, which is nice. Any of the folks out here in the U.S. who are trying to buy houses know how difficult that is these days. So that was pretty cool.
It's not easy out here either, to be fair.
Yeah, it's expensive, and I've heard a lot of folks think that this coming year is going to be pretty rough. So we'll see. I'm taking that into account when I think about a lot of stuff, like my merch and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I must admit, like, I'm thinking about it as well. Like, I must admit, I've been watching our good friend Stephen over at DM Armada has been covering some Alpha Clash, which I was like, oh, this looks like an interesting game, but I'm like, just can't afford to put more money into another Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So
I have mixed feelings on Alpha Clash. The creators reached out to me. They wanted me to check out the game and do stuff, and then they sent me like 3 promo packs and like a graphic novel, which is like fine. They're like, thank you, but I don't know how your game plays with just 3 booster packs, and I'm not gonna make a video on just like, hey, look at this shiny cardboard. I have a strong feeling that it's a Magic butt game, like it's Magic but superheroes. I have a strong feeling. I haven't played it yet, so I can't give any definitive opinions. They said they'll be sending me some starter decks, and after I play them, maybe it's like awesome and way different, and we'll find out. But okay, so was I going first?
No, I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
So I am playing Dash. I have Talisha. I'm starting with the Teklo Pounder. I've got a Crown of Providence, Teklo Foundry Heart, Goliath Gauntlet, and Achilles Accelerator.
Not running the new Hanabi Blaster.
I am not running the new Hanabi Blaster at the moment.
I'm Lexi, and I got my standard Lexi loadout: New Horizon, Tunic, Bullseye Bracers, and Snapdragon Scalers.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want to be maximum flex, the Snapdragon Scalers and the Bullseye are and the New Horizon too, but they're all cold foil. So here's my flex. This is I've been playing Flesh and Blood since it came out flex because I got these when they weren't like $300 or whatever this Scalers is.
Alrighty, I am gonna start with a red 0 to 60 boosting. Ooh, Teklo Core. So it does have to go again.
I'll block 3.
Nice. So you're taking 1?
Yeah, take 1.
Alrighty, I will then, since I've just boosted away a Teklo Core, I'm not going to get overly greedy. I'm going to play...
Oh, wait, did the Pounder pump that up?
Oh, yes, sorry, that should have been 6. Yes.
I'll block for 6 on this one.
Alright.
We'll block with Command and Conquer as well, so we'll block it up then. I'll go back up.
Yeah. So I will then play Spark of Genius to go get my other Teklo Core before I boost it away.
Probably good.
And
clearly you should just be playing. You should just be playing Datadol.
Interesting enough, I actually I was in I happened to be in the same place as the creator James White while we were playing a UPF game, and Alan was playing Datadol, and
nice.
And he was in UPF. Datadol can get a lot of equipment out, and I pitched to him the idea that at some point they need to make an extra long Datadol playmat for UPF because you get so much, and he looked actually fairly interested in it. So if there's ever an extra large Datadol playmat, I'm putting it out on the internet. That was me. That came from me. Also, because I boosted this turn, I get to draw off Spark of Genius, and I will Arsenal and pass.
Cool. I will draw up with you since it is turn 1. Wow, what a really rough hand. Okay. It's really weird. This is a really awkward hand. So I think we're just going to... Well, first of all, I will take up my Tunic and not forget. I will not forget to take up my Tunic. Aaron says, Happy New Year. Hope Robin is doing okay and in minimal pain. She's still in a lot of pain, which is unfortunate, but we're doing what we can. And I want to say thank you to everyone, by the way, who, all the well wishes and everything. It means a lot, so thank you. Anyway, my turn will be probably E-Strike. I think it's an interesting situation. I think we are just going to bottom this card. Oh, it's so bottom this one. It hurts. It really hurts. And the mode is going to be just a +2. So this is just going to be 7.
Just 7, he says.
Yeah.
Let's put 5 in front of it.
Okay. We'll leak 2. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and arsenal a card and then pass over to you.
Alrighty. So I'm going to start by getting 2 resources from Teklo Core.
It's pretty good.
And now I'm going to play something new that I've never played before. I am going to play Scramble Pulse. Equipment has -1 while defending this combat chain, and I'm going to boost it. So boosting away a zipper hit. That is going to give it +2 from Teklo Pounder. So it is going to be coming in for 7.
7. Oof. Okay.
With go again.
Yeah. I'm probably going to be taking a lot of damage here.
Maybe.
We're going to block with a Command and Conquer for 3. And I'll take 4.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Az with the Go Again Gaming. 5 pounds. Happy New Year from across multiple ponds. Looking forward to hearing that Last Living Legends podcast back. Yeah, the last episode was really fun. We just finished recording it. It might be my only video to come out next week. We'll see. But it was good. We talk about the Christmas. We talk about the Christmas lore. We talk about Assassin being in Outsiders and a bunch of other random stuff.
How cool was the hidden hyperlink spoiler?
It was very smart and very cool. Whoever did that deserves like a big pat on the back. Like, I don't know whose idea it was.
I'm really interested to see if anyone went back through the history. Like, I wonder if they've done that before and no one's picked it up. Like, if anyone's actually gone back and scoured old history and gone, wait a minute.
It was sneaky. It was really good. It was really good.
It's cool. I like that sort of stuff. I am going to come in with a boosted red T-bone. It is going to hit. So this is if you control a card on the combat chain that was boosted, the defending hero must defend T-bone with an equipment they control. So basically, you have to defend with an equipment, and it's going to have a -1 from Scramble Pulse.
Yeah, so basically I'm just going to throw in a 0 block equipment and it will do nothing. So,
Sure.
Oh yeah, there's the Bullseye Bracers with 0 block coming in. And so how much is it coming in for? Is it a 3?
That is for 3. Yeah, with Go Again.
Okay, I think I know what I want to do next turn. So I think I'm going to no block. And I'll take 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at 13 now, just so you know.
For sure. And then I am going to come in with a payload for 6. Because I have boosted this turn, it has Dominate.
Yeah. I'm not going to block that either. So I'm just going to take a lot of damage here.
Alrighty.
Go down to 7.
Oh, just throwing stuff away.
And I threw it on the ground. Opening my first packs right now.
It's funny. I actually played that video to my partner the other night because
oh really?
she dropped my drink on the floor and I was like, it was a bottle of Gatorade, so it had a lid on it, but subtly then played that, and she's like, "Did you play that just because of what happened?" I was like, "Yes, I did."
What, you think you're better than me? And I threw it on the ground. That's good. That's an old one.
Yeah.
All right. So start of my turn.
Charity case.
Yeah. All right. Tunic to 2. All right. We're gonna start off by I will actually be giving you a frostbite. So I'm gonna activate Lexi to turn up a cold snap, and you will now have a frostbite.
Oh, wait up. Hang on. I want a moment, caller. Let me grab a Matt Rogers frostbite token as an official Dragon Shield Pro Team token.
Yeah. All right, and then we're gonna do some stuff.
I still, one of the things that I want to get made this year is I want to get a token of myself as a Quick Ian token.
Oh yeah, quick Ian.
Yeah. Quick Ian. Yeah.
All right. We're gonna play the cold snap from Arsenal. I'm gonna pitch this yellow bolt and shot. And look at this. I gotta use my little red zone rogue token here to show that I have 1 resource. So cold snap. You may pay 1. If you don't, I get to freeze a card in your arsenal or an ally you control. It doesn't matter because you don't have either of those. But what matters is I get a draw card because I played from Arsenal.
Yeah. That's fine.
And then I will use the remaining floating resource to play Art of War. We're going to banish this headshot from my hand. The mode is going to be draw 2 and +1/+1. So we'll draw 2 from that. Interesting. Okay. Let us activate Voltaire for the first time. I'm going to put this bolt and shot face up. We're going to pay for that with this. You're going to pay for that with this Rain Razors. So float 1. And then I'll shoot Bolt and Shot at you. So Bolt and Shot is 4, 5, 6. Coming with 6 with Goarin on hit reload.
You can have on hit reload, that's fine. I'll take it. Go to 12.
Cool.
So what are some of your FAB New Year's resolutions, Cal?
I honestly haven't had time to think about it much. I think I'm just gonna arsenal this card and pass. I've had some really awkward hands. It'll be interesting to play another match after this. I've got a lot of hands that have a lot of my non-arrow action going on.
Start of my turn, Ticklo pops, and I get 2 resources.
Cool. I mean, like, my goals are always to just help grow the game. I love this game, and I want more people to play it. And I think when more people give it a shot and actually try it, they realize it's really good. And, you know, that's one of my goals. So, obviously, the goal is to, like, grow the channel. But in doing so, I would hope that it helps grow Flesh and Blood as well. I think it's kind of like a mutual symbiosis. I would love to get back in the casting booth. I talked to Chris Pierce from Legend Story Studios at Worlds, and he's like, "Oh, I'd love to get you back in the booth." And I was like, "I would too." So it'd be great to do another coverage at an event like Pro Tour in the US or even Worlds. That'd be awesome. And then just do a lot more content. There's some really, really cool stuff coming out next year, and we have some plans. So folks may have seen it being hinted around, but I know the professor wants to do a Shuffle Up and Play Flesh and Blood edition, and well, that's something that has been talked about. So yeah, so there's some cool stuff coming up. So I'm really looking forward to it. How about you, man? What do you got going on?
Yeah, I kind of want to do a bit more content on my own channel, not just be the guy that gets beaten by Red Zone Rogue on the internet all the time.
You're one of my two regular guests, like you and Az.
I am keen to do more casting as well this year. I really I played a lot last year, as those who follow me know. I got to 500 gem tournaments played at Worlds. Was my 500th tournament, and I kind of want to get back into casting. For those who don't know my background, I'm a former roller derby announcer as well as a professional wrestling commentator as well. So that's where a lot of my passion lies. I am going to boost T-Bone getting rid of Matt Rogers by paying one of the resources from my Ticklo Core.
Okay.
So this is going to be a 5 because that will be the last of my pounder.
Okay. So I have to block with an equipment, right?
Yeah, and I boosted 0 to 60.
All right, and
yeah. So I've already got I'm doing Dice Jars Pro Quest tournament at the end of January as my first casting. I have reached out to Fabled Games and Cerberus about possibly casting the Calling here in Auckland. I'm not sure if they're going to have casters or if it's going to be streamed or not, but I sort of put my name forward for that and hoping to do a bit more of that. Yeah, I just really want to play more, and again, as I think we've been trying to change the narrative a bit, play more social games. Drop the casual term and call it social. And really, I'm setting up. Behind me is in a bit of flux at the moment because I'm actually setting up my game room to hopefully start hosting a bit more UPF, which hopefully
nice.
I can stream and stuff. You know, taking a leaf out of the was it table pit? Yeah, that's the name. Sorry for
they're nice folks.
The mental block there, but so hoping to get a bit more played here because like I really enjoy UPF, and we had a pretty fun 9-person UPF out at Mighty 8 in December as like our end of year thing, and so that was pretty fun. And I think there were a number of players who'd never played UPF before, but were kind of keen to play a bit more. So that's kind of going to be a bit of my focus to get some more of the social gaming happening here, and you know, hopefully getting that out onto the internet as well.
I'm gonna block your thing for 3, by the way.
So it's coming in for 5. So you're going to take 2.
Yeah, I'll take 2 and go to 5. We have a couple comments. It says, was hoping Professor did more Fab. Yeah, he likes Flesh and Blood, but you know, his main thing is Magic, and that's what his audience likes, so that makes a lot of sense. But he does like Flesh and Blood. He's a local friend to me. He's a really, really good friend and a really good dude, and it's almost assuredly that he'll be doing more Flesh and Blood stuff next year, including his collaboration with LSS, like the product that they're working on. So yeah, and then also Crystal asks, what was your roller derby announcer name, Ian?
My roller derby announcer name, I was Mike Riot. I was known as Mike Riot, the original masked roller derby MC. I here in New Zealand. I also, if you're an old school fan of roller derby and were around for the 2011 World Cup, I actually announced at the 2011 World Cup with some great announcers like Val Capone. I've also got to work with DNN back in the day with people like Dump Track and Hurt Reynolds and those guys and girls, and that was a lot of fun. So shout out to any old school derby fans out there. All right, so I closed that combat chain because I'm going to use Pickblow Foundry Heart to boost twice. So I pay 1, boosting yellow zipper hit and blue 0 to 60.
Cool. So you get 2 resources.
Yep. So I get 2 resources. I am then gonna.
They say, "Oh God, dump truck." LOL. I don't know what that means, but I assume ref from way back in Australia.
Work it out. Oh, ref in Australia. Well, then you may have come across me. I used to announce the ARDL. I was a co-host on Viva La Derby, which was an Australasian-based podcast with Kahuna, with Big Kahuna and Denominator and Cyclone Silla back in the day. Good people, good folks. I went to the. I announced the very first and second Great Southern Slam, which was a lot of fun. I am going to yellow throttle you. I'm going to boost it, and I have played Goliath on it. So it is going to be coming in for 7 with Go Again.
How many cards do you have in your hand?
I have 2.
And no resources? Yeah, this is going to hurt probably. Probably not going to get any value out of this. So I can probably get away with this. Oh, it's so sketchy. It's so sketchy. It's coming in for 7, you say?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to get away with much here, to be honest.
So Crystal, who did you ref for back in Oz? I have a lot of friends who are in numerous places throughout Australia.
Oh man. Okay, so actually, if the last card in your hand, or one of the last attacks, if I block this way and you have that stupid harpoon thing, then it's bad. If I block this way, at least I get to keep a good card. Yeah, I'll block this way. Well, hold on. It's coming in for 7, you say?
It is coming in for 7 because of the Goliath Gauntlet.
God, this sucks. Yep. Okay, so I'm blocking with a That All You Got from Arsenal, and then it doesn't have an on-hit effect, so you almost assuredly have another attack coming in. This has Go Again from Boost, right?
It has Go Again from Boost.
I'll block 3 and take 4. Go to 1. Go to 1.
Alrighty. Not only do I have 1 harpoon, I have 2.
Oh,
so I will pitch one of those harpoons to play the other one. So this is when this attacks a hero, they reveal X cards from their hand, where X is the number of times you've boosted this combat chain, which is only once this combat chain.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose I could technically boost this. How many cards do you have left in your hand?
I have 3.
All right, so I technically could boost this card just to get you to reveal an extra card.
Merchant. Someone just says Merchant Gang. Merchant Gang. We're actually talking in the Living Legends podcast how Cavdane might have murdered like Lena Bell, because it looks like in his art there's like a green-haired head on the wall that looks like her head.
Nice. Nice.
We
Wollongong and Canberra, nice. All right. So you're gonna just reveal 1 card from your hand? Is it random or?
I think I get a pick.
They reveal, yeah. So they reveal. Choose an action card with less than X, where X, where less than or equal to X, then add it to the chain as a defending card.
Yeah. So I basically have to block with it.
Yeah, basically.
Well, wait. Well, what is the second clause? It's like you have to block with X then less or whatever.
So it says choose an action card with defense less than or equal to X.
Oh, okay.
Then that card is added as a defending.
Okay,
card.
so I actually technically don't have to block with it then if it's like higher than.
Well, yeah,
1.
if it's got higher than 2 technically, because this is the second chain.
But you didn't boost it though, right?
Oh, you're right.
So
yeah, I could have boosted it to make it 2, but
all right. Well, I'll reveal that I have a blue Bolton shot in my hand, and then I could block with it, or I could choose not to block with it. I am going to choose to. How much is this coming in for, by the way?
It is coming in for 4.
It's 4?
No Go Again, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I have to overblock, so I don't die because I'm at 1. So we're going to block with the New Horizons too. So we'll block for 5, 3, and 2.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Also, in non-fab TCG stuff, I am as much as I probably will get some grief, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Lorcana come out next year.
Yeah,
which is the Disney TCG. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but I'm definitely looking forward to having a look at it.
I hope it's not Magic but Disney. There's a lot of just Magic but games, and I have a feeling it's just Magic but Disney. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm actually working on one of the videos that I was working on before things happened, and all my time got dedicated elsewhere. I was working on a top 5 anticipated new TCGs of 2023. So is my top 5 new TCGs of 2023. Lorcana is on the list, but it's mostly out of just sheer curiosity and what it'll do for the industry, to be honest.
I think also the thing that has me very interested about Lorcana is the fact that it's not a Kickstarter. It's actually
it's Disney.
It's a company. Well, it's Ravensburger. I mean, yes, it is. It's a Disney license, but it's Ravensburger, which is a established company, putting a card game out for really the first time into the TCG market. Like they do board games and stuff, but it's really their first foray into a competitive card game, trading card game. So that should be interesting. Also, Grand Archive should be here in January, hopefully.
For Kickstarter backers, it should be January, February, depending on where you live. And then
so
March.
I did a basic Kickstarter backer, so I should get my stuff. I believe 16th.
I'm very excited.
Oceania. So.
All right, so just to catch up, I used my resources for my tunic to play a 3 of a kind.
Sure thing. And you whiffed and didn't get an arrow.
Well, no, I did. I got some good stuff. So now we can actually have a turn here. So I'm gonna activate.
You want to play now? Now you want to play.
Yeah, no, I actually want to shoot you with arrows. So we'll activate Voltaire, pitching this Polar Blast floating 2. Let's go ahead and put this endless arrow face up. Mode will be.
Now the other thing that I want to talk to you about.
Let's do.
I probably shouldn't do it online in case someone steals the idea, but since you've already had dealings with middle FAB tokens, one of the tokens that I had an idea for that needs to get made is the Talishar token that has rust counters on it. Being that I've been playing a lot of Tyquaius in an Ultimate Pit fight, so Talishar has been getting a lot of use.
I will say with these though, to do like your own custom token, you can only order them in bulk. So I think the minimum order is 100. So
but I feel like with an upswing in UPF and also possibly PvE coming out next year, I actually think it'd be kind of a cool. I think a Talishar token would actually be a kind of, a cool thing, because it doesn't look like we're getting another generic weapon anytime soon. So, I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. So it's coming in for 4.
5. I give it +1 with the Voltaire.
5. Alright. I am gonna block 5 then. With the crown and overloop, and I am going to use the crown's ability and replace the card in my hand.
Cool. I will give it a go again with my scalers.
Alrighty.
And then with one of the floating resources, I will use 1 to activate Voltaire for the second time. We'll put Heat Seeker into the arsenal. Mode is going to be +1 again. And I'll shoot you for 6 with Heat Seeker.
Is there on hit with Heat Seeker?
Yeah, at the beginning of my end phase, put the top card of my deck face up into my arsenal.
That's fine. I'll take 6. That's fine.
Okay, what are you at now?
That takes me to 6.
Okay. Okay, so yeah. And then... Yeah. Yep, okay, so at the beginning of my end phase, top card... Ooh, it's a battering bolt. And then I will go ahead and pass the turn.
Alrighty.
I probably die here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm definitely dead. I'm definitely dead.
I'm going to...
Iain repping white borders, fantastic.
Oh, I love them. I love them, especially with just enough to make it annoy my OCD opponents. I actually love white borders, and I have to admit, I have no artistic ability to alter, but I've been watching. There's a couple of people who have started doing their alter stuff online. There's a Auckland guy, forgot again. New Year's Day, mind blank. But he's been doing some shorts and like time lapse of his ults, and obviously the white borders make altering a little bit easier as well. So I am a fan. I am a fan. All right, I am going to. I'm gonna zip a hit boost for with yellow 0 to 60. It is coming in with 5 go again, 1 floating.
Block 5 to not die with a snatch and a battering bolt.
I am then going to tickle Foundry Hearts, so clearing that off.
Yep.
Payload, T-Bone, so getting 2 resources, and come at you with a Talishar for the first time tonight.
I think you would be very happy to know that this Talishar is going to kill me. I will block with Electrify for 2, Tunic for 1, and then my last card is a Lightning Press, so I die.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh yeah, that was a bunch of awkward hands in a row. That's yeah, that's what happens sometimes when you play Ranger.
Also, one of the reasons I'm playing Dash today is as much as I am a hardcore Brute Squad, Brute Nation member, in 2023, I don't think, at least I know you're very adamant that you think we're getting a Brute in the next set. I don't think we are, and so I've decided that the first part of this year, I want to start playing a few more characters outside of the Brute Squad. I'm
all down for that, because I mean, I play like a bunch of different characters. I focus on a couple, but I play a lot of them. But I really do think we'll get a Brute. I think it fits in the set, and I think it fits with the whole, like, James saying it's more like fisticuffs. And it's like a Brute could be like a thug, and like they made it very clear on the lore for the pits that like the gangs are like a really big deal.
I think, and again, I don't know. You get like, I really like I think it's your idea of like this being the pit set. Then we'll get a supplementary set, and then the other draft set will be a metric set. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I feel like we probably won't get another Brute character until we go to the Savage Lands.
I don't know. I can just see. It would be really cool to see like just a human as a Brute, because we have like these orc dudes, and then we have like Levia, who's like a monster. It'd be cool to just have like a Brute as just like a thug, like a thuggish buff dude who has like a club, and he just whacks people with a club. And that's like in the lore, it literally says that, I think is it the Jawbreakers? One of the groups of the gangs, like they specifically says they use like clubs. I'm like, it makes sense. I could see it. I'm gonna try Arakni.
I'm not denying it could happen. I just don't think it is going to happen.
Yeah,
but I'd love to see it. I personally think. Do you reckon we're going to get the Alchemist and the I don't think we are.
Maybe. So
I feel like the Alchemist being in the lore feels a lot like Yorick being in the lore for the Tales of Aria lore, where it's sort of like we're confirming that there are heroes of this class. That doesn't necessarily mean you're getting them in the next set.
Yeah, it's tricky. I think we would. I don't know. So like
again, it's that thing. It's the thing of, much like a bard, I don't really. I mean, and they definitely could have it worked out. But much like a bard, I don't really see how an alchemist plays as a character in combat. You know what I mean? Like, so, I can see it. I see it as a supporting character, and definitely something that could work in PvE or Ultimate Pit Fight or something like that. But I'm not 100% sure I see how they would do it. How they would do it in as a stand-up character.
Well, I think they do it. So we talk about this on the Living Legends podcast. An alchemist is not just like a potion maker. They're like people, traditionally speaking, in the real world. They're people who like transmute one type of thing to another type of thing.
Sure.
And then also in popular culture, there's like Full Metal Alchemists where they like transform like an object into like a weapon and then they fight with it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like on top of that, there's like in the Squeaker's Christmas, she basically makes a Molotov cocktail and gives it to Azalea to use as like a explosive arrow. So I could see like explosive bombs and like they could be like a bomb maker kind of class, or like use like acid spray, or like I could see
again, this is that whole thing of that the Wreak Havoc artwork that we've already seen for Outsiders on whether or not that is going to be a character, or
I don't think so.
The fact that the fact that it's got a name that isn't necessarily a character, I believe it's probably a card. Whether or not we will get that character, because again, that as I agree with you on that, like the fact that she's got like a flamethrower, that could lead into an alchemist build. I don't think that was Lena Bell though in that in
definitely
that picture.
Definitely not.
And so hence it's one of those things where if we do get an alchemist, it may not actually be Lena Bell.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see.
So
I like to think about it from like a game, like from all aspects, and so like from a game dev side of things, it would make sense to me that if they put Assassin in the class, which they did, we know Assassin is in the Assassin class is in the set.
Yes.
If they did that, it would make sense if they wanted to introduce another new class to soft launch Assassin in a previous set, so that it's not completely brand new, so you don't have two completely brand new classes.
Yeah, it's the Azalea. It's the Azalea thing that they did with Everfest, right?
Or the Icelander thing. Yeah.
Icelander.
Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense to me. Like if they wanted to do Alchemist in the set, and also Assassin. So if they wanted to be like, okay, this is the set where we introduce both of these classes, it would make sense to me to soft launch one of them in a previous set, so it's not two new heroes or two new classes being shown at the same time. So I think there's a possibility. I don't think it's a slam dunk. I think it's a possibility, and we know for sure that Ranger and Assassin are in the set because James literally said on the French podcast. Well, we haven't seen a Ranger card yet. But we've seen Assassin.
Sure. Yeah.
But we know that there's going to be.
Can we just quickly talk about that card really quick and be like, how did me and Alan not get a card named Razor's Edge, one of the most iconic '90s wrestling finishes of all time?
Razor Ramon.
The bad guy, Razor Ramon.
Yeah, man.
How is that not outside? And it's a common.
Razor Ramon.
So it fits into what Radio Reflex normally gets for spoilers.
Maybe you got another one. Maybe you got another wrestling reference. Because there's gonna be a brute. Because there's gonna be a brute thug who's dude. You're gonna get. This is the set where we get Pile Driver.
To be fair, the set's also called called Outsiders, which is effectively Hall and Nash's tag team name when they joined WCW. So I feel like there is room for a lot of wrestling references in the upcoming set.
Matthew asks, which Let's See build are you running? I was running my second or third iteration of my No Fuse deck. It's a deck that I did a deck tech on before, but I've changed it quite a bit since then. Didn't quite get there in that last game. Got a couple of awkward hands, and I got dashed out. But I do really like the deck, and it's the deck that I played at the Grand Prix Las Vegas. So that's the one with the Uprising World Premiere event. And I played Team Sealed, and we did pretty well. So our team, I think we did I don't remember what our final score was. I want to say it's like 4-3 or something like that. And we ended up losing to Tyler Horspool's team and Tarek Patel's team. So like, we lost to like some legit players. And overall, my deck did pretty well. My deck also had a similar record for the weekend.
I'm really hoping for some more team events this year as well.
Yeah, team events are awesome.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to play any team events last year, so
I got to do.
I was actually a little disappointed that when they announced that we were going to call in Auckland, and it was fairly close to when Outsiders was going to be coming out. I was hoping it might be a world premiere, but unfortunately, it is not.
Yeah, but, I'm hoping we actually get some world premieres. They haven't announced any yet, so
yeah,
fingers crossed we get some.
I don't think we're going to get them for this set.
That'd be a bummer.
I think, if anything, we may get them for the next set, purely because with only one Pro Tour this year, and it being, I believe, the Pro Tour is still going to be May-ish. I think that's what they said.
I don't remember. All I know is it's going to be in the U.S.
Yeah. So it maybe that may be a thing where the second draftable this year might get a world premiere to sort of make up for there not being two tours. So it gives people a reason to travel.
Yeah. All right. So
a big event.
For those of you, I swapped my deck. I'm running Arakni now. This is my probably my favorite deck that I have. It's a pet deck. It's like, it's not like a top tournament deck, but it's a lot of fun, and I really love this deck. And it's all foil. I've completely foiled this deck out. Everything is foil. The only like not max foil thing that I have is my tunic is just rainbow. I'm not using my cold foil one. It's back there, but everything else is cold foil. Except for Arakni. I also don't have a cold foil young Arakni because I don't think it exists.
Well, someone's going to have to go to Armories this month.
Or someone's going to have to buy buy a card from someone who went to Armories. We'll see if I have time. I don't know. I got someone wants to hire me to do some stuff for one of the like a pro quest. Is it a pro quest? For one of the things, but I don't even know if I'll have time to do that.
Did you want to go first since I went first last time?
Sure, I'll go first.
I'm gonna stay with Dash.
Alrighty, let's. Okay, let's do some stuff. Oh, it's a bummer that I could still do this. I can do that and this. That works. Yeah, that works. Okay. We're gonna Spider's Bite, pitching 2 reds of Rob the Rich and a Cut to the Chase. So this is 1 with piercing 1, and then if it hits you the next time you defend with a attack action card, it gets -1 defense.
Sure, I'll take 1.
Haha, take 1. That's a bummer. I wanted you to block because it's because I wanted to play with pick a card, any card, so I have less cards to pick from. So I'm playing pick a card, any card. Reveal your hand.
Can you see? It's Scramble Pulse, blue High Speed Impact, blue T-Bone, and a red 0 to 60.
Okay, we're gonna pick Scramble Pulse, and so this is a blue pick a card, so I got to do it twice.
Sure.
By the way, my tunic retroactively has a counter on it. By the way, just so you
know. Do you want to do 1 through 4?
Yeah, let's just do 3.
So 1, 2, 3. It is High Speed Impact.
Okay, we could do it one more time. I'll read. Someone says, just started with FAB 4 weeks ago. Yo, welcome. And I've been building my collection through booster boxes and now building Lexi. Lexi is she's pretty good. I think right now the build that is the most competitive with Lexi is like a classic constructed ice Lexi. I think that's the most competitive one right now. It's not bad. For Blitz, I just go aggro. Just try to kill them before they kill you. You can have really big turns. Well, let's do 4 this time.
Cool.
Come on, Scramble Pulse. Bah!
T-bone.
Bah, humbug. I haven't played a single match yet, but I can't wait. It's a lot of fun. This game's a lot of fun. And then I'm going to play Fleece the Frail. So this is a 4 attack with contract, and I have an Arakni trigger here. So flip up the top card of your deck and avert your gaze, so I can tell you whether it goes on the top or bottom.
We're doing this again.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Can you see that?
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't remember the block value of it. Put it back on top for now. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I was about to say, if it's a mechanologist card, it's probably 3.
Yeah.
Unless it was an item, and then it may be 0.
Hold on.
Hold on to the internet.
It probably has 3, but it's like, it's one of those cards where like it might not actually, because I'm giving away, like I'm giving too much away.
So fun.
Okay, I will bottom that. It does have 3.
All right. Fun. Slightly FAB related story. I convinced my partner to watch the Cobra Kai season with me. I've seen it before, and she had been on the fence about wanting to see it. And I was like, hey, I met one of the actors from it at Worlds.
Yeah.
And so that was my FAB related way to get into rewatching Cobra Kai. So thanks to Hawk for allowing me to bring the joy that is Cobra Kai to my partner.
I never met them, but they seem nice enough. And
yeah, I got a photo with Hawk, so that was cool.
The video that they made a video. They tagged one of my videos as well as Professor's video in it because YouTube notified me. They're like, oh, they person.
Right.
Nice. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. They seem nice enough. So this is coming in for 4.
Alrighty. For 4. And what's the contract?
Banish cards with cost 2 or less, or I mean defense 2 or less.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll just block 3 and take 1.
Okay. Come on, item. Come on, item.
No, it's throttle.
Ah, boo. Okay, well.
So does that just go back on the top?
No, it's banished.
I thought it was banished if it was 2 or less.
No, it banishes it, and then if it is 2 or less, I get a silver.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it always banishes.
Okay, cool.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and pass the turn.
All right, I'll draw up.
Ooh. Matthew says, I knew I was meant to play FAB because their first ever sealed product was a Welcome to Wraith box, and they got a tunic in it. My first ever box of Welcome to Wraith, Ian sent it to me when he used to work for Legend Story Studios, and I got a Rainbow Foil Enlightened Strike. So it's a Rainbow Foil Alpha Enlightened Strike, and then the second box I ever opened is a random box I bought from eBay that had a Cold Foil Tunic in it. Yeah.
Seems good.
Yeah.
I am going to come in with a high-speed impact that will be coming in for 6 boosted. Boosting a 0 to 60 away. 2 resources floating. This is coming in for 6. And high-speed impact reads, if high-speed impact hits the next attack you boost, this combat chain gains dominate.
Yeah, I'm going to block for 6.
Dominate.
Block it for 6.
Alright. And that was one off the pounder. We will then come in for 0 to 60 boosting. It is coming in for 4. It has Goarin. I just love that. I love these
Oh yeah.
FAB metal. They're very cool. I just really wish I got the streamer size of that, but it's still good.
I'm just gonna block my equipment, so I'll block for 2 and take 2.
Alrighty. I still have 2 floating, so it's Talishar time.
Talishar, you say? I'm gonna no block Talishar. I'll take 4.
Alright. Take 4.
I'm down to 14.
So we put a rust token on Talishar, only get 3 swings with it. We clear this away, I put a card in Arsenal, and I will pass to you.
Cool. Tunic ticks up. My turn's going to be very simple. I'm just going to E-strike you for 7. Bottom my other card.
Just 7.
Yeah, this deck actually does not go... This is not a wide Arakni deck. It's more of a... I have a lot of 7s, let's just say. I have a lot of 7 attacks in this deck.
It feels a little bit like Tall Azalea sometimes, right?
Sort of. It kind of also feels a little like Dorinthia, actually. Because like
I'm gonna block 5 with Blue Zipper Hit and Crown of Providence, and use Crown of Providence to put my Arsenal on the bottom of my deck and draw a card.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
So I will be taking.
Take 2.
So I'm blocking for 5, taking 2.
Yep.
Go to 16.
Cool. I will pass turn to you. Draw it. Interesting. Interesting.
Alright, let's start with a combustible courier, and it's going to get a boost from the Teklo Pounder. So it's going to be coming in for 6, and I will boost it, boosting away a Zipper Hit, so it does have Go Again. So 6 with Go Again, and if this hits my next attack action that I boost gets +3 this turn.
Yeah, and you have 2 cards in
1
hand?
floating. 2 cards in hand, 1 floating.
Yeah. Alright. So, a little unfortunate that it's 6. Okay. Do I want
Yes, Travis I see says, I used to do boxes, but now I do singles, and my wallet thanks me for it. Boxes are very fun, though. Yes, I totally agree, and I must admit, with all the travel I did last year, I am unfortunately down to now more buying singles than cracking booster boxes to get stuff. While it is fun, there is definitely a budgetary option that singles is friendlier on the wallet than cracking boxes to try and get stuff.
It depends on your needs, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and I found that
there's like a certain threshold. So if you buy enough boxes, you can actually sell a bunch of like extra stuff to recoup like a decent chunk of it. But
possibly.
But
the problem with that is that if the valuable stuff you pull is the stuff that you wanted, then you're not selling to recruit. Like, sure, you got the stuff that was value to you, but then you're sort of stuck with a bunch of stuff that you can't really move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to admit, Dynasty was probably I only actually opened 1 box of Dynasty. And everything else has either been prize packs or singles for me.
I've opened like 24, but the thing is like,
must be nice.
So I spent a lot of money on it. Like 1,000.
Also, I'll just point out 1 box, under 300 subscribers to his channel, 24 boxes, and what are you at now?
Almost 15,000.
Almost 15. Nice.
Getting there. It was the goal for the year, but I don't think we'll get there. But yeah, the thing is, well, first of all, it's my full-time job, and I want to have the goal is to have a full playset of everything. They don't have to be the fanciest versions, but I just want to be able to build whatever deck that I need to. So if I want to do a deck tech or whatever, I can just build it, and I don't have to go and like worry about like buying singles or whatever. And so what I do is I buy enough to have some for my patrons and enough for like sponsored things, and then I open the rest for myself, make it into content, and then I sell or trade for the extras. So like this time I opened up a ton of Black Tech Whisperers, and so like I could have sold them. I kept 3 of them, but like I could have recouped like $300 from that if I really needed to. So yeah. Matthew says, I hope you get to 100,000 next year. Hey man, I do too. I'm a little more realistic than that, but that would be amazing. Getting a little like YouTube play button would be like a dream. But I'll be happy if we can continue the pace and I get to like 20,000 at the end of next year.
I would love to see, like, I love it to be you, Cal, but I'd love to see any FAB, like majorly FAB focused channel get that button. It'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, the way it is now, if you just want to talk raw numbers, like Steven, DM Armada and I have kept the same pace. So Steven has always been about 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers less than me, and he still is that. So he's at like 1,100 right now. He's getting close to 12, and I'm getting close to 15. So he and I have like kept the pretty same pace. I posted it on Twitter. I think it'd be really cool to have another Flesh and Blood YouTuber explode and come up there with us. So there's more than just Steven and I at the 5-digit range. There are some other folks like Team Covenant and the Card Guys who have large followings, but they gained the followings through other games.
Yeah.
So like for someone like Steven and I, it's really cool because it shows like our growth, but it also shows to some degree the growth of Flesh and Blood as well. So anyway, you're coming in for 6.
6 with an on hit that I will get +3 to my next.
It's a nasty on hit. It's actually a tough block for me. Because I could block. I could do 2. Oh, I don't like that at all. Yeah. All right. So I think the smart way to do it is just to play a little bit safer. Is we're just gonna block 6 here with Slay the Scholars and Annihilate the Armed. I was really trying to keep this Annihilate in my hand, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So I'll block 6.
So, fully blocked. All right.
Matthew says, would you sign my playmat at an event? Yeah, 100%. If you go to events and I'm there, please feel free and stop by and say hi. I'm more than happy to chat with everyone.
To be fair, this community as a whole, I think if there's anyone in this community that you like and you want to get autograph or anything, I haven't come across anyone in this community that's not happy to do it. Including the creator of the game. He is
poor James gets like swarmed, man.
Many hours signing stuff for people. So
yeah.
I am going to close this combat chain. Okay. And I will use Tickler Foundry Heart with the one resource I have to boost. I will boost Yellow Throttle. I will boost a Red Payload to get 2 resources.
Happy New Year, Decks and Drafts. And we also have 180 up. Says, I just subscribed, love the content, and psyched to see some live streams before I'm forced to a NYE event. Yeah, I mean, Ian's playing more of a competitive deck than I am. I'm playing,
which is not there's more of a rarity than a than a rule for me, at least. Yeah. I am going to crack the Goliath Gauntlet, and I am going to come in with a throttle for 8, and I am going to boost it. It is a zipper hit, so I can't miss with this deck, just so you know, with my boosting. Yeah. It is coming in for 8. with Go again.
Okay.
Nope.
Also,
Go again.
thank you, Matthew, for the support. I really appreciate it. Okay, so you're coming in for 8. I could this. You have 1 card in hand?
I have 1 card in hand. I have nothing floating. I've used my Tickler Foundry Heart.
Ugh. And you're at like a bunch. Okay.
I'm at 16.
Yeah. Oh, Dash is gross.
She really is.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where I was like, if I was playing the version of this deck that has a lot more D-reacts, that'd be much better, but I don't. I kind of still want to have a turn, but it doesn't look like I might not have one. All right, I'm just gonna no block this. It doesn't have an on-hit effect, right?
Nope. It's just 8.
Yeah. I go to 6. Oof, that's a big chunk.
And I will pitch Zipper Hit to swing with Talisha for 4.
Okay. It was a 4. I was expecting at least a 4 coming in.
Yeah.
Take me to 2. Well, take me to sort of 2. Yeah, I might as well. Go to 2.
Go to 2.
I have an attack next turn. It's a decent attack, but it's not going to be super great.
So,
the hero on the right, new to Outsiders. If you're talking about the live stream, that is Arakni. They're new to Dynasty, and they will. I don't think they'll be in Outsiders. I think there will be a new assassin in Outsiders, but I think they'll be in some art. Well, we already saw that they're in some art.
whoever is in it, yeah.
But I'm like 95% sure they will not be in Outsiders.
It is interesting because they did get both adult and young hero in Dynasty, which we didn't get with Icelander and Everfest. We only got young Icelander and then got adult Icelander in the following set.
Well, so here's how I think about it. And I think it's like pretty simple deduction. So like in James's article about the talent system, he clearly states that every single region has its own talent. And so we're going to the pits for the first time. It would make a lot of sense for them to introduce the pits talent in the pits set, right? It's not like a pits metric set, as far as I know. It's like a pits set. So we have a pits talent. So it's almost assuredly not Arakni as we saw them from Dynasty. If it's Arakni at all, it's probably a new pits talent Arakni, because all of the heroes probably have the pits talent. Just like how Arya, they all have the Arya talent, right?
Yeah.
And on top of that, I doubt they would reprint Arakni with a new talent right after printing them in the previous set. So like it's probably just a new assassin, in my opinion.
And do you think stealth is the pits talent?
I don't. I've thought about it a lot. I think stealth is the assassin mechanic of the set. Because that card was printed at common.
A bit like intimidate for brute.
Yeah, or like crush for guardian. You know, I think it's just going to be the talent for, or not talent, but the mechanic for assassin for draft, because that card is a common card. So if the common card is specifically referring a keyword, that means that keyword has to be a very commonly used keyword. So I'm pretty sure that's the assassin thing.
I would agree with you.
I'm gonna fighting spirit you for 7 and gain 1 life. So I'm at 3.
What? Speaking of Icelander.
Yeah. It should be toxic. I mean, toxic is a really interesting one, because if you look at the border on Arakni or Azalea, there is like some poison goob like coming down the side, so I can see some like poison or toxic. I think it'd be interesting.
I'm just gonna take it and go to 8.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, so I think it'd be toxic or like poison or something is a good bet. I think it'd be fun if it was something more nebulous, like, this sounds cheesy, maybe there's another word for it, but like rebellious or rebel or like anarchy or something like that. Because like all of the stuff I've seen about the pits is about that, right? Like the Christmas story, they're like stealing from a toy store to give to the children, and it's all about like just, you know, fighting the power. I'm like, every time I see something about like the pits, I'm like, there should be like Rage Against the Machine playing in the background.
Really, not was it Joan Jett's? I don't give a damn about my reputation.
No, it's got to be harder than that. It's got to be like Sleep Now in the Fire. Yeah, dude.
Bulls on parade.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It is your go.
All right. Yeah. I'm about to show you why I didn't block particularly well last turn. I am going to play.
My hope is that it's
Ramble Pulse.
My hope is that it's because you have a bad hand and not an insanely good hand.
No, it's because, and I will pitch my Ticklo Core to pay for said Scramble Pulse, which is a 2 cost. So I have 1 left. I will boost it. Equipment have -1 while defending this combat chain. I boost out a Ticklo Pounder. This will be coming in for 7 with my Ticklo Pounder, the last one.
Travis says, pull a Solid Snake and use the box talent. They just pull a box, put a box over their head, cardboard box. What's this coming in for total?
It's coming in for 7 with Go again.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I want to keep something. So this will block for.
I just want to shout out to Jim at FAB TCG Cards for this playmat. It's so good.
Jim's a good dude.
So good. And I've been really impressed by. Oh, I mean, the artwork on your stuff is great as well. But like, I really like the artwork that Jim's getting for his playmats. So shout out to his artists as well.
Let's see.
So what were your highlights of 2022 since you're still there?
It's funny because like it feels like something's happened way long ago. Like I actually did commentary for the Pro Tour, which was this year. Like it was in 2022. It feels like it was like last year. So I mean, doing coverage at the first Pro Tour was awesome. I did coverage at a couple events this year. Kind of didn't do any near the end of the year, but at least doing like the first Pro Tour was awesome. I was on, I guess, doing a video on Brian or the professor's channel was really cool. Like being able to actually be in a video on his channel. He and I have been friends for a couple years, so finally, like being in one of his videos has been really cool. And like learning how he produces things and his like process has been awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about like other stuff because like everything, it just feels like a big blur. And I'm probably just gonna block 7. By the way, this is coming in for 7, right?
7, yep.
Yeah, I'm blocking 7. So here we got 2. 2 from the Fandle's Fighting Spirit. I'll gain a life from that. Go to 4.
Yeah.
And then 3 from Shred. So that's a 7 right there. Keep a one-hander.
Then I will play Zipper Hit with Boost. So that's coming in for 5.
Block 3. Take 2. Go to 2.
Alrighty. And then I'll show you why I didn't block last turn. This was the other card in my hand, Spark of Genius. So I had Ticklo Core, Spark of Genius.
Nice.
I am paying 0 for that and going to get my other Ticklo Core. And because I have boosted this turn, I get to draw a card, which I will then pass and pass.
Cool.
And Ticklo Core comes in with.
I'd like to point out that you could have killed me if you just hit me with Talishar.
I'd like to point out. Oh, I suppose I could have pitched it to swing.
I thought you were gonna pitch. I thought you're showing it to me, and I'm like, oh, so you're just gonna pitch it and kill me. I don't have a hand, so I'm just gonna Tunic and then pass to you.
All right. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I'm probably dead, but you know, we'll see.
Alright, so we get two resources from Tiflo.
That's actually a pretty good hand.
Let's jump on board with T-Bone for 3, boosted, and boosting away the other red T-Bone. So this is coming in for 3, and you have to block with an equipment.
Okay, I'm to block with the boots that do nothing. So I'll block 3 with that.
Nice.
Now I just have Sleep Now in the Fire stuck in my head.
I'll then come in with a throttle for 5 boosted. Overload.
Block 4 with the Tunic and Leave No Witnesses. Take 1, go to 1.
I will then play Overload, pitching a throttle. If you've boosted this turn, payload gains Dominate.
Ah, no!
And that's coming in for 6.
Ah! Okay, well I block 3, 4, 5 with my Gauntlet, take 1 and die, because I'm at 1. Ah, bummer! That's Exacxes.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more Dash this year, to be fair. I think
no, yeah, 1,000,000%. Especially if we got a metric set.
Yeah, Dash has got a lot of good stuff in Dynasty. And I think more important, not so much in Blitz, obviously, because Blitzes just go fast, which ironically, that's Dash's, that's her literal name. But I feel like in CC, there's a number of ways to play Dash, and also I feel like you actually have. She's one of the few characters that I feel like you've actually got space in your sideboard to change up your game plan like quite differently for different matchups, which I think is very interesting, and I think we'll see a lot of Dash through the ProQuest season.
All right, chat. I might have time for maybe one more game if Ian has time for one more game. And if that's the case,
We've got time for one more game.
Cool. I have 2 other decks that I could play, or I could run one of these back. So the options are, and I want to hear from chat. Options are Lexi or Arakni, which 2 that I just played. The Lexi deck I still think has a pretty good shot against Dash if I can get like a good 3 of a kind or Art of War turn. And then I also have Dromai, and then I have the Emperor. So those are your options. We have one Lexi. But I also have Dromai, Emperor. I can put them out actually. We got. It'll take a second. There's like a delay, so it's probably like a 30-second delay or so. I have Dromai, Emperor.
As for me, my highlights for this year.
Yeah. What's your highlights, man?
The big ones for me was actually, well, it seems a bit weird, especially if you followed this channel. But it was in fact this was the first year that Kel and I have actually met in person.
Oh yeah, so that was at Pro Tour 1 actually.
It was Pro Tour 1, yeah. Pro Tour 1, and then so we got to room at both Pro Tour 1 and at Worlds, which was really cool, and getting to meet you and Steven, and like Zach Bunn. I was disappointed I haven't met Steven from Team Covenant, because again, you got the 3 of you guys were my sort of 3 big onboardings while I was the community manager, and so I'm really proud of what you guys have achieved, and how what great ambassadors all 4 of you have been for FAB. So that was really cool, and to get to actually meet you guys in person was great. And for me, Team Covenant, I've actually been following Team Covenant from back since the Spoils days.
Oh wow!
Online. So like I've sort of I've done a long TCG journey. I feel like I've known them for years, but like obviously only met Zach for the first time this year in person, which was cool. And that was cool. Yeah, like also meeting people like Jim and like Goblin Reserve, Hank and Amy, great people. Just the amount of people that during the pandemic, like at Pro Tour, I had people come up to me at Pro Tour 1 and be like, "Oh, hey, you were the first person I ever played in a skirmish." And I'm like, "Are you sure? Because I'm from New Zealand." They're like, "Oh, no, it was this online skirmish, and you taught me this rule and stuff like that." I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah," because
Nice.
I did play a lot of the online skirmish that first skirmish season, so that was cool, yeah, and actually, who knew getting people together in the flesh and blood to play.
Yeah, right?
To play games would be such a positive thing. So that's been really cool. And like to be honest, I've played a lot this year, last year technically. Now that I'm in 2023, and it sounds weird, but like I actually want to play less this year, if you know what I mean. Like I want to do more, but play a bit less, because to be fair, I didn't really get to do a lot of like my own content this year, because I've been working 2 jobs and then just playing, like just grinding, armories and events and stuff like that, and sort of content wise, I haven't actually had a chance to do as much content as I'd like to. And so so this year I kind of really want to sort of step back and just enjoy the game a bit more from the sidelines. Again, as I said, I'm really keen to do some more casting, keen to play some more social games. I'm really enjoying like Tyquaius. I've been playing in Ultimate Pit Fight. I think my Tyquaius, my current score with Tyquaius is like 3-1 or 4-1 with win-loss record with Tyquaius in an Ultimate Pit Fight, which is pretty cool.
That's the kind of record that sets precedence to get killed first. They're like,
exactly.
Oh, yeah, this Tyquaius is winning. Kill him. Yeah.
But it's been really fun, and we've talked about it for a while in hush tones behind the scenes, but I definitely seeing what the guys did with Clash this year. Not that I'm particularly fond of Clash as a format. I don't think it's really aimed at me. But we have talked for about a year about our want for a 2v2 version of FAB.
Yeah. 2v2 would be so much fun.
And obviously with the wrestling leanings that I have, especially along with Alan as well, like the idea of a tag team format would be kind of cool, and I feel like I want to put some time into coming up with a rule set for that, and trying it out and throwing it out there.
I think it'd be fun to stream, like a tag team kind of thing.
Absolutely.
For the viewers, I could do the stream like we have it now, but just put 2 side-by-side screens, 2 and 2, and then still have our webcams, but just make it a little bit smaller. It'll be overlapping onto the game board, but we can make it work. I think it would look good. I think it would be fun. Yeah. And
and there's a number of things to look at with that. Like, my initial thought was maybe looking at tag teams have to be the same class, or maybe they don't. Whether or not there's actually going to be a tag rule, like if it's a card that you add into your deck to make cards, or if it's a mechanic like paying an action, like paying a resource and an action point to tag your opponent in, or to tag your partner in, or something. But yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to playing around with that, and just trying to put something of myself out into the community as well. So I think that would be a cool thing to do in 2023.
Yeah. By the way, I'm playing with the Emperor. Emperor won the most votes.
Alright.
The next was like Dromai. So Emperor had 4, if I count them right. And then Dromai, Dromai had 3, so 4-3.
I think I do have to then change up a little bit.
Mushy says use your same armor.
Mine?
That's what he says.
No.
They're gonna get blasted. They're gonna get absolutely blasted.
So I don't know if you're a battle mage though.
Okay, so, I will show my equipment.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me if you're a battle mage or not. I'm going to make my decision.
Well, hide my equipment then, because my equipment gives it away.
Right. Well, I haven't really looked at it, so that's fine. So I'm going to come in with the Arknight Skullcap. So possibly a little bit more Arcane Barrier. I am gonna bring in my German Nullrune gloves. Which
this deck actually is running German Easter eggs.
Nice.
And
of course, Achilles Accelerator already had Arcane Barrier 1. So technically, I've got Arcane Barrier 2, possibly up to Arcane Barrier 5 if it gets scary.
I have Skullcap, which is immediately turned on because I start at 15 health. I have Courage of Blade Hold, which lets me attack for free with my weapon if I choose to use it. I have Brave Forge Bracers, which is going to block for 3, which is going to be really good against this. And then my last card is Storm Striders. Nice. So, got some Storm Striders.
Got some Storm Striders.
Yep. Alright, am I going to go first this time?
Let's roll the dice, I feel like. Odds or evens?
We'll do odds.
It is odds, so you choose.
I will go first.
Which I have no idea what. I mean, I guess I probably want to go first against you to try and just kill you turn 1, but
I'm gonna try to kill you. Not turn 1, but it's gonna hurt. Let's just say that it's gonna hurt. All right, you ready?
All right. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's start off with a good old-fashioned Scar for Scar with Goarin because I have less life. So 4 Goarin. It's a pink Scar for Scar, by the way.
Let's block with a blue throttle and take 1.
Okay. I would like to then E-strike you, tucking this card. The mode is Goarin, so 5 Goarin.
5 Goarin.
Yeah, this is my German E-strike, by the way. It's called Erleuchteter Schlag. I'm just gonna call it Schlag. I'm gonna schlag you.
All right, I'll block 5 there.
Get schlagged. Okay. And then I would like to sap you for 3 arcane damage.
I will. I'll block 2 and take 1.
Cool. Sweet. That's it's gonna be that.
It's gonna be me.
Gonna be me. Not Rage Against the Machine.
Alright. What are we doing here? Interesting.
All the flexing, love it. Well, I have a whole bunch of pink pitch cards from when I first started playing the game, and so they make it into the decks.
We're going to come in with a T-Bone boosted for 5 off the Tickler Pounder.
Okay. What's your current life total?
My current life total is 18.
Okay, so I have to block the T-Bone, yeah?
Yes.
Right,
yeah,
so we'll actually block with our Skullcap because you still have more life than I do.
Really? What do you start on? 15.
15?
Yeah.
So I'll block with that, and then it's coming in for 5, you said?
A 5, yeah.
So that's 2, and I'll block an additional 3 with this zap. So yeah, we'll block for 5 here.
We'll come in with Overloop for 5. No boost.
No boost. Okay. I think. Oof.
Also, another highlight of this year was buying 1 box of German history packs and pulling a Marvel Kano. That was pretty cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Especially because I did the joke that everyone does to sellers. I was like, they were like, "Which box do you want?" I was like, "The one with the Marvel in it." And so then I did have to go back the following day and thank them for actually giving me the one with the Marvel in it. So that was pretty cool.
I'll block 4 with my equipment.
All right, so taking 1?
Yeah, I'll take 1. Go to 14.
All right, I'll attempt to go to my end phase.
Yes, that's fine.
All right.
Put all my things back here. All right.
Other highlights were decking Matt Rogers out with Bone Bash Leviathan deck at a ProQuest and him almost losing to it, and him being very stressed by it with him on Oldham. That was pretty funny.
So I'm gonna attack you with Flock of the Featherwalkers. Ooh, which one do I want to keep? This is tricky.
What you gonna show me?
Well, you're gonna see both of them. So they're both red, obviously red pitch cards, and they both cost 1 or less. So it doesn't matter which one I pitch or which one I show. It just means I get an Arsenal one the next turn, and I get a bottom the other one, or pitch the other one. So I think I want to keep the Snatch because it's easier from Arsenal than the Blessing of Aether. So, and I'm getting a Quicken token here. So pitch Blessing of Aether, show Pink Snatch, tech for 5. And then I get a Quicken token. It's right here.
Sure. I'll take 5.
One of Jim's Quicken tokens. Look at that. Skeleton Man. All right, cool. You take 5, and then I will Arsenal this card that you have no idea what it is, and then pass to you. Pass it to you.
Alrighty.
So now you're at 13?
13.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, alright. Start by boosting in high speed impact, pitching a Tekla core. This is coming in for 6, and if it hits, my next attack gets +3. Oh, sorry, no. If it hits, my next attack gets Dominate. Sorry, that +3 is the combustible courier. This is high speed impact.
Gotcha. I think I want to be. Well, if worse comes to worse, I can do that. Okay. Let's just go to defense reactions, and I would like to sink below this.
Mm-hmm.
And I will sink this card. So I'll block for... Oh, interesting. I'll block for 4 here.
Alright, so my next attack will have Dominate.
Mm-hmm. And how much was it coming in for total? Was it coming in for 6?
It was going in for 6.
Yeah, so I'll leak 2. Okay.
My Tekla Pounder is on 1 now. I'll boost 2 for Scramble Pulse. So this is going to be coming in for 5 Dominate, and equipment have -1 while defending on this combat chain.
All right. Yeah, I'll block 2 here with Thaw, and take 3.
Alrighty.
Because it's coming in for 5, yeah.
That is correct.
Yep.
I will then boost T-Bone and Combustible Courier off the boost. So this is 3 go again. You have to block with an equipment, and it has -1 from Scramble Pulse.
Yeah. I guess I'll just block the Storm Striders since all the others get Battle Worn or whatever. It's coming for 3, you said?
It is coming in for 3.
Okay, I won't block any more than that, so I'll take the 3. Go to 6.
And how many cards in hand? 2.
2.
Let's try and get another one out of your hand. 0 for 60 for 4.
Cards in hand?
0.
Hmm.
All magically on the field.
And you are at 13?
I am at 13. If you can kill me.
Well, I can't kill you now.
I know at least what's in your arsenal, so that's that was
It's a snatch
one
with,
card that
yeah, it's a
couldn't
snatch with
kill.
go again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quicken. I'm going to be risky because screw it. I take it. I go to 2.
Alright.
It's coming for 4, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, go to 2. Alright. Let's see. Let's see if we can string together a long turn here. Alright, so... Oh. Have you drawn your cards?
I have drawn my cards, yeah.
Here's a snatch with go again.
Block for 4.
Cool. Here is a blaze headlong with go again. For 4.
Oh, love that card. I'll take 4 here. That's fine.
Okay.
Go to 9.
Here is a sap for 3 arcane.
I'll block 2 arcane and take 1.
Okay. And that's going to be it.
Damn it, I should have taken it. Oh.
Alrighty. Let's see. Okay. Okay.
See, this is awkward now. Because I've left myself with 2 reds that I can't do anything with. You have a full grip of hands, and I'm at 8. So that could kill me off. My Storm Striders.
Maybe.
But you don't have an arsenal. Let's see if you've got it. We're just going to come in with Talishar, pitching 2 reds. You either have it or you don't.
You're at 8?
I am at 8. Can you do 8? I have no cards in hand.
I can't do 8, but...
That's what I like to hear. So that means I'm getting at least 1, if not 2 cards out of you.
Yeah, well, maybe. I'm going to be blocking here for 2. And then maybe this one, because it's just so greedy. Or I can be even more greedy. Because like this... Because I could Storm Striders you for a little bit. I do want to be greedy, man. I do want to be greedy. Maybe I just go to 1 here. It's coming in for 4, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're just going to be max greed. Max greed, let's go!
Alright, let's do it.
Yeah, it works. It works. So we're going to do it. Okay, yep, so I'll block for 3. Take 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, go to 1. So courage is destroyed, and these other 2 are just kind of useless. Spoilers. I will not be attacking twice with my weapon to activate Brave Forge Bracers.
So I'll attempt to go to my infest.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's fine.
Yeah.
Did I get a cold foil emperor yet? No, I just have the rainbow foil one. I actually got 2 rainbow foils, and I gave one away to my patrons as part of their random rewards. I don't know who got it because it's random. I just shuffled them all up and then put them in packages and then slap labels on the packages randomly. So, not sure who got what. So someone got an emperor from me for the holidays. All right, so we're gonna play one of my favorite cards, one of my favorite OG cards, and this one is a first edition foil. Lead the Charge. So this is a red Lead the Charge.
Yeah.
So the next time I play an action card with cost 0 or greater, I get an action point. Hey, you know what's an action card with cost 0 or greater? Tome of Aetherwind. So I'm gonna play this Tome of Aetherwind. So I get an action point. So now I can either draw 2 cards or just pump up the damage of a thing. I think I want to pump 1, draw 1. I think that's what I want to do. So we're gonna do both. We're gonna pump 1 and then draw 1.
Sure thing.
So draw. Okay. I would like to then blaze headlong for 4. Let's go again.
Nice.
Cold Emperor and Mech yesterday. Cold and Mech is like sick.
I'm gonna block 4.
Okay. Alright. I will then Aether Quickening you for 5 arcane, pitching this Command and Conquer.
Arcane.
Yep.
That is quite a bit.
Yeah, so last turn I was holding the Aether Quickening in my hand, so I could have just domed you for 4 free damage. But that would have gotten rid of this hand. And I think just being at 2 less life and this is better overall. I mean, the Lead the Charge into Tome is just too juicy to not take.
I'll subserve it and take 3. Go to 5.
Go to 5. Alrighty. This is one of those wizard hands where, like, depending on what I draw, I could maybe Stormstriders kill you. All right, because you're at 5. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm at 5.
I'm just gonna pass it over.
All right, I am at 5, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot that I can do. I am.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm just going to come in with payload for 6.
Payload for 6.
1 floating.
I think we just. Oof. Actually, it's way more awkward than it looks. Oh no.
How many cards?
How many cards do you have in your hand?
I've got 0 cards in my hand.
Ooh, okay, 0 cards in your hand. Okay, that actually makes it a little.
One floating.
Okay, so
you have to do 6 damage to me.
I don't.
Technically 7 damage because
I don't have. Yeah, because you have 1 floating.
1 floating. I've got so I can stop 1 arcane basically.
You don't have.
So yeah, 6 arcane damage would kill me.
Yeah.
But
so like this is coming in for 6, and I can definitely block. I can definitely block the 6, but I also.
Also, what legends and song sung by Barts.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm at 1, so I'm like, I gotta block the 6 or I'm dead. But I have a bunch of 2 blocks, which is like makes it super awkward. That's what the downside of having stuff like the Blaze Headlongs and all the aggro stuff means. You have a bunch of 2 blocks.
I know. I know the same problem with playing Tyquaius as well.
Oh, the hand's kind of cool, but I don't think I can do anything with it, unfortunately. I have to at least block with this Flock, because Flock, unfortunately, is basically requires
Does nothing.
requires two cards from hand.
Minimum.
I think I have to just do this and take you low enough to maybe blast you the following turn. So we're gonna block 2, 3, 4 with another 2 block with Blessing of Aether, and then 3 with Sharpened Steel. So that's a 7 total block.
Alrighty.
Leave me with 1 card in hand. Alright. Yeah, Sharpened Steel also requires a 2-card hand because I don't have my chest anymore.
Nice.
Otherwise, it'd have been a 0 for 6. Anyway, I'm just gonna 0 for 3 Arcane you. We're gonna Aether Dart for 3. 3 Arcane.
Aether Dart. I will block 2, take 1.
Take you down to 4.
Mm-hmm.
And pass my turn. Go ahead. Probably gonna die here, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. All right.
Alrighty. We're gonna throttle. Pitching a blue. So I got 1 floating. That is my last Tickler Pounder. So this, and I'm gonna boost it. So this is coming in for 8 boosted. So
8?
Yep, because it's base 6. And it was my last Tickler Pounder because I haven't been able to boost for like 3 turns.
How many cards do you have in your hand?
I have 1 in hand, 1 floating.
Okay. Let's we'll declare. Oh, I have to declare before I do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think. Yeah, I think this is still the best way to do it. So I'll block with Sharpened Steel, and then sink below. This only blocks 7, and I'm at 1, but I will sink this card and draw. I do have a way to not die from this, but this might also help me win. No, it's not gonna help me win. I'm also gonna Sigil for 3, so I'll gain 3, go up to 4. And so this is gonna block for a total of 7. So I'll take 1, go to 3.
Alright. I'm going to end that combat chain.
Okay.
And I will Tickler Foundry, boosting 2. Tickler Core Throttle, so I get 2 resources. Cards in hand.
I have 1 card in hand.
Blocks on the board.
Nothing. 0 on my boots, and 0 on everything else.
Talishar for 4 then.
Yep. Well, I'll block with the Ravenous Rabble in my hand, take 2 and go to 1.
Ooh. Alrighty. I'll Arsenal and pass.
Alright, I'm just going to draw up and pass back. Come on. Come on. Oh my god, I'm going to die. I drew.
Stay on target.
Oh no. Oh no. Wait, do I have enough resources? No, I don't have enough resources. No. This is where I maybe should have put in the Flame Scale Furnace for this one situation. Oof.
Boost Throttle.
But if that was the situation, I wouldn't have had... Flame Scale Furnace wouldn't have saved me here. It would have been destroyed at this point anyway.
So go again, Throttle for 6. Nothing floating, 2 cards in hand.
I would like to... Oh my god. I would like to activate Storm Striders. Pitching this Imperial Edict that's in my hand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hey, it doesn't block very well. Doesn't block. It's such a sweet card though. It's like the best turn 1 play. And then how much is it coming in for?
It is coming in for 6.
Coming for 6. I will. What are you at? 4? Oh.
4, yeah.
Why does this have to cost 3? Why does it have to cost 3?
Because wizard.
Oh. Block with forked lightning.
Whoa.
And then play sigil to gain 3 life. Go up to 4. And then I'll take 3 from. It's coming for 6, right?
6, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go up to 4, take 3, go back down to 1.
Cards in hand.
I have 1 card in hand still, and I could still play my next non-attack as though it were instant. Because this was not a non-attack. This was an instant. It did not take up the Storm Striders.
I'm gonna play 060 from my arsenal, boosting it. So let's go again, coming in for 3.
Playing 2 blocks at Emperor is crazy. I like to live dangerously.
I also like to live dangerously.
How much is it coming in for again? 5? 4?
It's coming in for 3. Just 3. It's just the yellow 0 to 60.
3, and you have 1 card in hand?
I have 2 cards in hand because that was from the arsenal.
I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna die by shooting you. I'll zap you for 3. Arcane.
Go to 1? No. Do I go to 1? No, that'd be dumb. I'll stop 2 and go to 2.
Okay, and no blocks die. No, I'm dead. Yeah.
I was gonna Spark of Genius and break my accelerators.
I was hoping for a Voltic Bolt so I could try to like goozle a win like on a previous turn, just like get you down to like Voltic Bolt level so I can bolt you for the win. But nah, the Forked Lightning is great if you can. So Forked Lightning is super sweet if you can do the Blessing of Aether. So if I can do Blessing of Aether on a turn and then have Forked Lightning in like Arsenal or something, you can Forked Lightning for 10.
Right.
Because it's 5 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny stuff. All right. Well, that was Dash. She runs
Dash.
fast.
Stupid Dash.
Dash. Stupid Talsha. Stupid Wombat.
Sitting here playing with cards like Imperial Edict, which is awesome. So this Emperor deck is slightly tuned for UPF with stuff like Imperial Edict. So it's not like full on, but yeah, it's still fun. Next time I'll try to win with Lexi Moore or something. A deck that
I must admit, I definitely think I will. Unless there's a new hero that really takes my fancy and Outsiders, I think I probably will be playing some Azalea come March when that drops. I have been known to play Azalea before, and I'm pretty keen to see if she improves with the Outsiders.
Yeah, man.
Outsiders set. That is my hope for her.
I'm fairly confident that Azalea will probably get a new hero with a talent. With the Pitts talent.
Do you reckon it's going to be full on star of the show type deal?
No. So here's the thing: it's a draftable set. So James already said that Azalea is going to be in Outsiders, and because it's a draftable set, she has to be token rarity because it's a draft set.
Yeah.
So it's got to have to be token rarity power level as well. Otherwise, if it was like majestic level power, like Starvo,
does she have to be token rarity?
Yeah, for a draft set. I mean, I guess you could have another Ranger in the set, and then also Azalea.
I'm only saying that, yeah, like
I guess
there's the possibility that you have another Ranger, because also there's a possibility that we may get the replacement Shadow Rune Blades and Light Illusionist in this set, right? So they could actually just be in the set.
Oh, so he said, James already said that they're not going to be in the set. He said in the same interview, he's like, no, they're not going to be in this set. They're going to be in something else.
it'll be the supplementary set, obviously, I would imagine.
Yeah, or maybe
Yeah,
even I could see them being in like a
think
classic
that's
battles
it.
or something as well. Like I could see those things popping up in like a supplemental product.
To be fair, the upside is that one's light, one's dark, so you could totally do
Yeah.
like a battle box, light v dark,
Yep.
battle box, which
doesn't mess with anything draft. Doesn't mean you have to have light and shadow stuff in it. Doesn't make your pack pull worthless or worthless. So I think that in a supplemental set or supplemental product as like a dual deck would be perfect. Yeah. And like classic battles, Chain versus Prism. Come on, like that is a classic battle, right? Light versus dark, Chain versus Prism. Yeah. Like the two like heroes that like were, I guess they technically didn't LL first because Starvo LL before Chain, right? But yeah, still, I think it's classic.
Here's my hot take now that I'm thinking about it. I think there may be the Azalea may be a Majestic in Outsiders, and I think we might get the Van Helsing looking dude from Bolton Shot as the Ranger in the set.
Okay, so here's a little bit of a spoiler for the Living Legends podcast. We have a bit where I suggest not that we'll get Azalea as a token, but or as Majestic, but I was suggesting like what LSS would call another Ranger, and they always do like these pun names, and I'm like, okay, the first name I came up with was Shooter. Was it Shooter? Not Shooter McGavin. Not Shooter McGavin, because that's already from Happy Gilmore. It'd be like Shooter McNasty or something like that. It's like it's got like Shooter in his name, and I was like, no, that's ridiculous. What if his name was like Crossbow, but like Bow was spelt Beau, and what if they flipped it so his name was Bowcross? So Beau Kross.
Sounds like a terrible fucking workout,
Bowcross, and he's the Van Helsing guy. and then it's like toxic Ranger hyphen Bow. Like Beau. Bowcross.
Well, you find out that under the hat it's actually Bolton. So it's Bolton Shoots as opposed to Bolton Shot.
Oh jeez. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but Bowcross is just hilarious. It's just so good, and it's like
it sounds like a '90s McFarlane bad guy with lots of pockets and no feet.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Like, it's so good.
That's funny. But I really want that Van Helsing character. I really want a crossbow.
Oh, dude, I'm down. Van Helsing, dude, I'm in.
A crossbow ranger, that would be cool.
I hope it's like one they're like, hey, make this character as part of our lore, and not just the artist is like, I have a cool idea. Can I draw whatever? And they're like, yeah, go for it. And he's like, look at this guy. He looks cool, right? Like, because I think that could be something that happens just in any card game, where they're just like, we need you to draw a, well,
especially in high fantasy world, right? It's sort of like, here's a real offside, out of left field prediction. I really want to see the dudes from Demolition Crew, and the new Outsiders.
They probably will be. They're part of one of the gangs, man. Like 100% they are.
I hope so. I love those guys.
They're in. I can't remember which, because I don't have all the gangs memorized off the top of my head. But they're definitely in one of them. There's like one of them that like they specialize in like
the Pyromaniacs, right?
Yeah, but there's also ones that do like explosives separate from that, or maybe
and they're like torching or something.
Torch.
Like,
yeah, those are the Pyromaniacs.
Yeah. It's funny.
But yeah, we'll just wait for Shooter. What was the name I came up with? I came up with a better name. It was like Shooter Mc something, not McNasty, but Shooter McLaughlin or something. Like their name is just like Shooter is like the perfect flesh and blood hunter name, right? Like, what does he do? He shoots things.
Really? Not just call him Hunter.
No. because we have Chain, who uses chains, right?
Yeah.
And there's like Prism, who uses light and prisms and makes lights. We have Katsu, which means chicken in Japanese. But it also sounds like cut. Like Katsu sounds like cut. Like there's a bunch of the names that are
Dash.
Like
Fi.
Dash is fast. Fi is fire. Oldham is literally just like old man.
Old man.
Yeah. Azalea is a type of flower. Are they dark flowers? I'm not sure. I'm not a flower. I don't know a lot of flowers. Let's think. Obviously, Chain. Obviously, Arakni is like the spider.
Bravo is a performer.
Bravo's performer. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Reiner's German, obviously.
I don't know. He's got a big nose. Reiner? Like rhinoplasty? I don't know. I want to see dual class young heroes for draft using a swap around of all classes. This is coming from Jay, where you can draft cards from multiple classes. That could be interesting. I fear the power level of Constructed. If you have like 4 different dual class heroes all at once, that sounds like a nightmare to balance for Constructed. Even if they had no ability, even if they were just a hero with no ability and 2 classes 4 times.
It could be like a standalone product, right? Like what was it? Magic Conspiracy, was that the one that had like
yeah Conspiracy? There's a couple. There's like Battle Bond was another one that focused on.
So it's doable. I mean, and the thing is, there's no reason why you couldn't house rule something like that as well, like Chaos Draft or stuff like that.
Yeah. I really think what they're doing for this next set, could be wrong, but this is just my prediction. It seems like the easiest slam dunk to me, if they didn't want to do something crazy, would just be 4 heroes, new talent, all the heroes have the talent. So basically, instead of generics, you have the talent cards, which act like generics for purposes of draft, and you have a draft experience that's almost identical to Welcome to Wraith, with 4 heroes, with a bunch of generic cards, so you can still stay open and draft the talent cards.
And again, I think the fact there's no arcane damage in this set, by the sound of it, so you don't need arcane barrier, you don't need quell, or spell void or whatever. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to drafting it. Definitely looking forward to drafting it since it's 4 heroes. Welcome to Wraith was a lot of fun. I think this is also a very smart idea to have a full 4 hero melee draft set, because I feel like this is again then the next set to welcome new players in, and I think it's going to be a super solid product that if you have drafted before but you don't know Flesh and Blood, this is a bit easier because you don't have to worry about arcane and stuff like that. You can just draft the hero that you like the look of. I think it's going to be So I think it's going to be a real solid, not entry level because that's the wrong terminology, but it's a really good jump off point for people who may have been on the fence with Flesh and Blood, or may have gone away and come back. I think it could be a perfect set to get some of those people who may have played early on and then sort of lost interest, or started playing other games. It may be a really good one to bring people back into the fold.
There will also be blitz decks. Not a lot of people talk about it because it's not exciting news, but if you literally go over to the Flesh and Blood website and go to the product page, it says Outsiders, and then it says Outsiders blitz decks. So there will 100% be blitz starter decks for Outsiders as well. So I think you're right. I think it would be just a fantastic way to jump into the game.
And what that means is effectively, there's a 4-player UPF set right there. Yeah. You buy one of each of the blitz decks, and 4 of you can play UPF straight out of the box. And that's where when we first looked at UPF, we totally should. Yeah, we totally should do it.
If there are actually 4 heroes like everyone suspects, based on the Dragon Shield sort of leak kind of things, we should definitely stream it for 4 starter decks. Dibs on the Assassin, by the way. dibs on the assassin, whatever it is I got. And then Az is going to be playing Azalea, so that's already half the year.
So basically, me and Steven just get the drinks, is what you're telling me.
Well, it is the pits. There are dregs in the pits, so yes, you will get the dregs. You can have the brute because obviously there's going to be brute.
I don't think there's going to be a brute. I know you think it's a fairly.
I very much. I think it's it's not a slam. It's not 100%, but I think there's a very good chance.
I would love there to be another brute. I love me some brutes.
By the way, Ian, someone asked where you got those dice.
The dice?
The FAB
dice. These came from LSS. And they're part of. They've used them on stream, but basically they prototyped them for upcoming online stuff. And as some of you guys know, I used to work for the company, and I still deliver coffee there every day. And effectively, this was a little bit of a Christmas present from them to me.
Nice.
So yeah. So that's pretty cool. But I would say you're probably going to see more of these throughout the year on different streams and stuff like that. I don't know if it's going to be a product that they sell, but I definitely think you'll see more going out to online streamers and to events and stuff, because I think they just a really good, nice, clear, decent size and makes streaming a lot easier. So
yeah, man, I'd use them. I currently use the Team Covenant ones that I got from them a while ago, but those are very bold, I would say.
I also shout out to the streamer size tokens from Metal Fab Tokens. I really like these. Again, I would have loved to have the streamer size of the Dominate go again, but I was unable to coordinate being in this right place at the right time at Worlds. But hopefully sometime this year we will maybe sort that out.
Yeah, I just messaged them on Twitter. I was like, hey, I'd like to do a collaboration if you're cool. And they're like, yeah. And that's how we made that's how I made these. It's really interesting. Like, these have sold okay, and I still have a bunch because I ordered a crap load, so I have a crap load of these things still. But I've noticed that certain people will buy a bunch. Like I had someone order 6, and then they went back and ordered like another 7 or something. So they're like, oh.
I feel like it's the sort of thing that you'll probably move at live events where people can actually physically hold them in their hands and see them. Because you don't really get, and that's the thing about these Fab Metal tokens, you don't really feel the quality of them by just seeing them online, but actually physically holding them, feeling the weight of them, seeing they're
pretty hefty. Like you can maybe hear the.
Yeah, you definitely can, and that's what I mean. I think they do a really good job, and I know that I'm not sure if there's a different one, but I know there's resource tokens being given out for ProQuest and stuff, which is they're collaborating with LSS, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, these the biggest problem I had with these is they're very ornate. So I was like, it's going to be hard to differentiate which side is which. So that's why we completely eliminated one half side. Yeah. So you have a half and then a double side. And I didn't want to make it specifically geared towards Flesh and Blood because there's a lot of folks who play a lot of games who watch my channel. Yeah. So I was like, I wanted it to be useful for Flesh and Blood, but also useful for other games too. And so we played Soulforge not too long ago, and this would be perfect for Soulforge because you have the Forge on, the Forge off.
Absolutely.
Then, whoever bought 15 of them from me, they're probably using them for some game as well. Yeah.
You could use them just as your copper tokens and stuff like that as well.
You could. That'd be cool. Yeah. Oh, I could use them for silver. That's a good idea. They are $10 each, and so they are a little bit to manufacture because they're so ornate. So they're not $1 or whatever to make. They're at least a few bucks.
Yeah.
So the $10 price is a good price. I will say. We were considering 15, but I was like, nah, that's too much. I think $10 is like the most I'd want to do for like a token like this. So, yeah. Procrast sound awesome with those metal pitch tokens being given out. Yeah, the metal tokens, the flesh and blood ones are pretty cool too. I don't know if anyone's gotten them. I have one somewhere at my table, but yeah, the quality on these is like super nice. Oh yeah, those ones.
Those ones, yeah.
Yeah. So
cool, man. Well, I think that's about us, really.
Yeah,
thanks for watching.
7 o'clock here, so we've been going for a couple hours at least, which is great. Thanks for playing some games with me. This time you absolutely trounced all the decks.
Perhaps to make up for how terrible the rock games went the other day.
Yeah, you did get kind of annihilated on one of those rock games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am still tweaking. I actually really like where my Lexi deck is. I think I could have, like, if we kept playing, I might have been able to equal it out, like the wins with that Lexi deck.
Possibly.
Because it's just like all face. The Arakni one maybe too. I don't know. I'd need to play it more. I haven't actually played a lot against a lot of dash. But yeah, that was fun. Not sure what we're doing next week for the stream, but probably something. Probably something. Probably more Flesh and Blood. At some point, for those who are still here and interested, it's gonna be still like almost all Flesh and Blood. But at some point this year, Grand Archive is coming out, and so I'm definitely gonna be streaming a little bit of Grand Archive gameplay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm really keen. Once my Kickstarter comes in to play some games with you and get you to run through it with me and stuff, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Your character's in the game as well, right?
Yeah, it's a good card too. So it's an uncommon. So I wanted the card. If I couldn't have the card be like a big flashy unique ally, which they had all the slots taken up for that by the time that they proposed that we do this. They're like, you could either be a rare, common, or uncommon. And I was like, we were talking about it, and like, I wanted it to be a good card, but I still wanted it to be a card that people would see when they open up packs. Yeah. I was like, uncommon is like the best medium between the two to make it still powerful, but still like people will see my card when they open it in packs. So if you are a fan of the channel and you go out and buy some packs, there's a chance you see it. It's a good card. It deals direct damage. So it's a card that it attacks. It has stealth, so it's like really hard to defend against. And then is it you draw a card and discard a card, or just discard a card? Anyway, I think it's you draw a card and discard a card, and then deal 1 damage. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's been a little while.
I mean, it's going to be an interesting time. There's a lot of games vying for attention next year.
It is draw a card. You draw a card and discard a card, and if you discarded a fire element card, you choose any unit, which includes champions, so you can choose your opponent's champion and deal 1 damage. So it's like, it's very, very useful card where you can like do some evasive damage. But yeah, I agree with you, said. There's a lot of games coming out next year.
Because we got Grand Archive, we've got what was it? Battle Spirits as well, which is the new Bandai tournament like that they're throwing a lot of money at.
So someone in chat mentions Sorcery. Sorcery is different. Sorcery is not a game you can really stream unless you're playing on Tabletop Simulator or something like that.
Also, to be fair, it's not really going to be. It's more a board game. Like it is. But you buy it like a trading card game, but like. They've sort of said that they're not going to really go particularly hard on OP or anything.
Yeah, so it's like one-ish set per year, and there's not really like a big organized play thing. So it's more of like a social, board gamey kind of thing. And I'm going to play it a lot. Like my partner Robin really likes Sorcery. She play tested with me a lot, and so I'm going to be playing Sorcery a lot, and I'm going to be making decks, and I'll probably be doing videos here and there. Like I'm going to do a stream when the game comes out. to like open up my boxes, maybe give some stuff away, just the celebration stream. But like gameplay wise, it's like really hard to do content for that unless you're doing digital. And it's the kind of game where like I'd rather just play it in person. Like if I'm playing digital, I might as well play like a good digital game. no shade, but like if I'm gonna be playing a digital game, I might as well just play like Hearthstone
video game,
or like Slay the Spire or something like that. Something that's made for it. But
I mean, also you got One Piece, which is doing pretty well. Like, I mean, I know here in Auckland we've got 2 pro quests, and one of them's on the 14th, and there's a twin cup, which is like a qualifier tournament for One Piece, and there's discussion among players here in Auckland that there's some players that are going to forego one of the pro quests to play in One Piece. So that's interesting to see. I mean, the thing about the Bandai games, I saw it with Digimon. I think I'll see it a bit with One Piece as well. Is that there's a lot of front-loaded interest, set 1, set 2, and then the Bandai fatigue sort of sets in with they push out sets quite quickly, and they are a bit notorious for power creep in their sets as well. So it'll be interesting to see how long the interest lasts in something like One Piece, especially with Battle Spirits, which is another Bandai game coming out, on whether or not Bandai kind of almost cuts their own feet out from under themselves with a new game.
I have some thoughts on that, and some of it is like because I've worked with Bandai on it a little bit. Yeah. But before that, I don't know if you're still here, Conrava and Jay, but it sounds like they're heading out. I hope you all have a great evening. We're just gonna chat a little bit about chat a little bit about card games for a second. Yeah. Ian and I normally do this after the stream anyway, but now you get to actually listen to it. So
behind the curtain.
So for Battle Spirits, I think they're trying to target a much different market than the same people who are playing One Piece and that kind of stuff. I think the way they see it is that the One Piece market is like fans of One Piece, right? And fans of like anime games like Weiss Schwarz. I think that's what their target market is. I think their market for Battle Spirits is not that. And I know specifically they reach out to me, and I know they reach out to some Magic the Gathering content creators, and they've also done a lot of other stuff to push the reach of Battle Spirits. Critical Role is doing a thing, and they're also getting like really big popular VTubers to do it. And then they also got the pro ZD guy to do it, who's got like millions of subs. So I think for Battle Spirits, they see it more as a game that the general public, and then also like the Western TCG players, like Flesh and Blood and Magic. I think those are where they're trying to market Battle Spirits towards. So I honestly think they see it as a different thing. And the fact that they are front-loading a $1 million prize pool, competitive season prize pool, shows that they're really trying to gun for like the Flesh and Blood and Magic pro players. They want to come in and be like another like pro game, and they got the money to do so because it's Bandai. They have the money to do so.
They do have.
So it's it'll be interesting. I'm pretty excited to see. I'm gonna be getting some of the starter decks and some product. I don't know if I'll be doing more sponsored stuff, but maybe. Who knows? We'll see. But even if I'm not, I do want to check the game out, and I'm actually genuinely curious to play it. One of my friends, Matt, is a huge fan of the original Battle Spirits, and he says it's his best or his favorite resource system in any card game of all time. And he's someone who plays a lot of card games like Ian and I. He tends to like more Japanese card games. I like Japanese card games too, but if Ian doesn't play as many of the Japanese card games, and Matt plays all of them, I'm somewhere in between where I like pick and choose. Like I'll play some, but some I'm very critical of. If the game system's not good, then I'm not gonna or if the art's not good, then I'm not gonna.
Yeah. No,
But-
I understand that.
But like,
I understand that. And on top of that, you've also got basically all those Kickstarter games from a year and a half ago. You got your nostalgics, your D spirits.
I don't have a lot of faith in those.
Well, no, but it'll be interesting because they are now all into their second or third set
Yeah,
make or
that's true.
break,
That's true.
make or break time, and like I've seen, like, for instance, D Spirits as focusing more on getting out their Pokemon-esque computer game than necessarily the card game, which which is interesting. Metazoo has been Metazoo.
They're doing like a animated show next year, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing with D is that D Spirits.
Mm-hmm. No, Metazoo.
Yeah. Metazoo. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's well, both D Spirits and Metazoo, both the people behind it, early on had vocalized that they wanted to be the next Pokemon. And what they meant by that is that they wanted to be the next brand. They didn't necessarily want to focus on being the next great card game. They wanted to be the next recognizable brand. And for better or worse, that is what they're aiming to do. And whether or not either of them or either of them gets to that, it'll be interesting to see.
So I think that journey is a much more difficult one than the journey
post pandemic as well. I think the pandemic, when everyone was at home and was spending a lot of time on the computer because that's all they could do, it seemed like the right time for it. But now people are back playing sports, they're back going on vacations and stuff like that.
I think it's just like
a lot of those eyes have fallen off.
A fundamental part of Pokemon, though, is like nostalgia and like fondness for the characters. And like it's really bold to be like, we're going to fill you with nostalgia with our brand new characters. Like, we're going to make you as fond of these characters that you have loved for, since you were 5, right? Like, it's a really tough thing, whereas something like Flesh and Blood is like, hey, we have this new game with these cool new characters, but it's also just a really good competitive game. Yeah. And so it has like...
It's really interesting that both Metazoo and D Spirits tried to leverage nostalgia of Pokemon, like we're doing watercolor, like Metazoo, we're doing watercolors like original Pokemon. D Spirits is like a lot of it's sort of like your sprite and your favorite character like type thing, trying to make a recognizable brand character. And it's very interesting because they're both trying to run off the nostalgia of something else but be something new at the same time.
Maybe that's one of the reasons, other than like, I guess sorcery goes a little bit on nostalgia, but it's not really, because it's not like, hey, look at these characters that look like the other characters that you liked when you were a kid. It's more of like hey, we have these old school sensibilities with this hand-drawn art. And I think that just appeals to a lot of folks who aren't into the stuff that's going on like these days. And I think that's why I like that, and as well as Grand Archive. Grand Archive, completely new IP, new world, multiple new worlds, because it's more like it's an isekai thing where they can travel between these worlds. But it's a brand new thing with their own new characters with original art, and it looks fantastic. And they're not like trying to rely on, nostalgia of another thing too much. And they're doing something fairly unique, which is like, there's not a lot of anime games here in the West that are made by Western developers. There's a lot of Japanese games, obviously, that get like ported over and localized, like WeCross, for example. But this one's like built from the ground up. And because you see it in the numbers too. Like, the characters don't have like 1,000 attack, 2,000 attack, 5,000 like Battle Spirits, like Yu-Gi-Oh, like tons and tons of Japanese games, like even WeCross has like just thousands, and that's because a lot of people are wondering like, oh, why do they do that? It's because of the Japanese yen, right? Because it's closer to their monetary system,
Yeah,
and because the yen is in like hundreds and thousands, right? And then there's Grimpath, which is, in my opinion, also doing something very, very unique. We do have grid-based card games out there. There's obviously there's Sorcery. It's a little bit different. I think the closest it would be like something like Genesis, but even then, it's I think still different because Grimpath, you don't have a champion or a hero or whatever. Like it's more like Warhammer. Or I think my best example is XCOM. It feels a lot like XCOM if you play the XCOM video games, where there's like cover and you can move your unit behind the cover and do a thing. But instead of like just doing a generic attack, you have cards in your hand, and then they do the things that are in their cards. I guess it's kind of close to the Marvel game that came out, Marvel Midnight Suns. It's a video game that's similar, where you have you move your dudes on a grid, and or not a grid, but you move your dudes and you have like a card system, kind of like that, I think.
It's interesting. I mean, whether or not that's going to be out by the end of next year is we'll wait to see. I know they want to kickstart. I know they want to kickstart next year, but
I actually
finishing kickstart arriving as many of these other games have found out they're not always.
It's interesting because some of them got pushed out pretty quick, like Cryptic. Had the Kickstarter and they got pushed out pretty quick. Anytime something like that happens, and knowing how the I don't know, you're gonna call it the turnover time or whatever in both production and development, makes me a little curious as to the quality of the product. Mm-hmm. Whereas I know both Sorcery and Grand Archive are fairly sticklers for like card quality and that kind of stuff. And like, I'll be honest, the card quality in Grand Archive is really, really good. They actually, their first print of the demo decks, they didn't like the card stock. So they didn't really trash them. They still gave them out to folks, but they're like, hey, these aren't going to be legal use cards because we don't like the card stock. And so like, that's stuff that they really care about. And the new demo decks that I got were like, they're very nice. They feel very nice. When you flip through them, it feels like a AAA product. It feels like a product that you bought that's like a Magic the Gathering starter deck or whatever, Flesh and Blood Blitz deck. Like it feels like that's the quality. But they're not using Cardamundi like Flesh and Blood and Magic. They're actually using a popular Japanese card printer. I don't remember the name of them, but I know they're one that a lot of the Japanese card games do. And you can see it.
It's interesting, right? I think what and I think 2023 is going to be the year that really solidifies this, is that if you are a new game or a young fledgling game, you need to have a very cohesive idea of how you're going to get your product to market. And I don't mean Kickstarter. I mean how you're going to get it into local game stores in front of players getting played. Because there are a number of games, just a plethora of games. I mean, we've covered some of them in the past. Things like Legion, Legion Realms of War, which I think is a really good game, but I just don't know what sort of market. I don't know how well it's actually got into. Like, I know it's got some strongholds and some stores are very into it and stuff like that, but like, it's all well and good to get people like us and that to show you card game online and stuff like that, but people need to be able to get hold of the game, and people and stores need a reason to take a risk on a game, because 2023 there's a lot of things fighting for shelf space.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think that's why Grimpath is such a smart thing, because one of the things I asked him, I literally told him when I was talking to him, I was like, hey, so like, coming from, like, I'm not a store owner, but if I was a store owner and you're pitching this game to me, like, having all these minis and all this kind of stuff means a lot of shelf space. And I was like, that's kind of a big ask for a retailer. And his answer was like perfect. He was like, you don't need to stock the Grimpath minis. You could literally use any mini that fits, right? So if you're LGS and you have an overstock of a bunch of other minis that you can't sell, you can be like, hey, buy these minis that we already have and use them for this new game. Like, I think it's just very consumer and store friendly what he's trying to do. I think he's doing a lot of smart stuff, but it shows because he used to work at a big game, video game dev studio, worked at Double Fine. So
I've got to say, it's smart. One of my favorite games that I play a lot, that isn't a card game, is a game called Gaslands. It's a miniatures game. It's a post-apocalyptic car combat game. And the thing about it is it's a miniatures game that there are no minis for. It's all kit bashed. The scale is Hot Wheels. So you go into any Walmart, you go into any Coles, any warehouse. If you're in New Zealand, you can pick up it, you go down to your kids' play box or into an op shop and buy a bag of 20 cards for $2. And if you've got some old 40k weapons or whatever, you can kit bash your cars together and jump in and play a really fun game. And that's something that it sounds like Grimpath is lending itself to, of being able to use minis that you already have.
You just
while also having the option to buy the official ones. It's going to be interesting to see when they get into organized play, if that's the route they're going to go on whether or not you're going to have official minis for organized play, or what that's going to come down to.
So, from what I don't know about that, but I do know that he wants to have organized play, just how Warhammer has organized play, and I think he's coming from it through more of a tabletop or a wargaming perspective rather than a TCG perspective. But
and that's more the sort of tournament thing where you play for a weekend, like a weekend's worth tournament sort of thing, as opposed to like playing every Thursday night.
But like the goals and stuff are just like good. They're like what I like to hear when someone is like, so it's like we get a lot of Kickstarter games and that they're in it because they saw that there's like money to be made, and there's like, okay, I have an opportunity here to make something. So here's my Magic but Pirates game, or here's my Magic but Cars game, and here's my or Pokemon but whatever. But he's one of those folks, like I said, I think it comes from being a video game designer who's been working on this game for a long time, and he just wanted to do it. And he reached out to me because he was very unsure of like the state of things, and he wanted to get my opinion on a lot of stuff. And I think it's just really smart. It's all consumer friendly. He just wants to make a fun game that people will enjoy playing. He told me that like even if he's just able to make enough to just make the cards and people enjoy it, that's enough for him. He's not trying to be Magic or Pokemon or Warhammer or whatever. And that's like,
that's cool.
In my opinion, that's how you actually make a good game. You come into it with like genuine, passion and wanting to make a good product and wanting to make a fun thing. And
totally.
I think that's why it'll likely be very successful. Not just the quality. There is like quality. It looks like a AAA product. It looks like something that like it doesn't look like a indie Kickstarter thing. It just, when I showed some people the art, I don't remember if it was you, Ian, or someone else, but someone thought it was a card from World of Warcraft. Someone thought it was a World of Warcraft TCG card.
That was on a chat. That
and like
we were in there.
Say what you want about Blizzard and WoW now, but that WoW, like it's got a certain degree of quality, right? At least in terms of aesthetics. They don't like half-ass that kind of stuff. So if someone's like, oh, it looks like something from World of Warcraft, I think that's a really big compliment.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
and they definitely they put out some good stuff, but
Yeah.
they unfortunately hitched their wagon to Upper Deck, which that's a whole other
The WoW
podcast that
TCG.
we
Yeah.
could talk about.
I actually gave some folks, so for the holidays, I sent out some gifts to a bunch of friends and colleagues and stuff. A lot of people I worked with this year, and then just a lot of friends. And some people got World of Warcraft cards. Not like, because they're cool or expensive or anything, but there were cards that were like tailored specifically to them and their personality. Right. So I don't know if Hank is watching this or that far. He might have already gotten it, but for Hank and Amy, I sent them some WoW cards because I know that Amy plays WoW, but also there's goblins in World of Warcraft. So I sent Hank a couple goblin cards, and then I sent Amy a bunch of like females with daggers because I know they do the knifey thing.
Wifey with a knifey.
Yeah. So I sent her a bunch of those, and then Hank a bunch of goblins.
Nice.
I don't know if Jim's watching this either. Jim also may have gotten some World of Warcraft stuff, maybe some skeleton related things. And Jim also plays WoW, so like it was like, oh, it's perfect. And Jim's one of those people. It's like he owns a card shop. I don't know if I can give him any Flesh and Blood card that he doesn't already have. Like it's just like, oh, thanks for the card to sell or something. Like where like for Az, I sent him he already got this, so he already knows. A first edition Red in the Ledger. So I sent him a first edition Red in the Ledger, and then a first edition foil aim shot. Yeah, he doesn't have any first edition cards, and I was like, he's the Azalea guy. He should have at least a first edition Red in the Ledger. So yeah. Fair. Oh, I also sent him a Legend of the Five Rings sealed starter deck from Seeds of Decay set from like I don't know when it came out, but I have a box of it was a sealed box of Legend of the Five Rings starter decks. There's 6 decks in it, but only 3 different types, and so I literally just sent Bill and Az a message, and I just said no context, no context. I'm just like dragon, mantis, or scorpion. That's it. And I don't think they really knew a lot about it, so they weren't expecting it. Az said mantis, so he got a mantis starter deck.
Gotta go scorpion.
Bill chose scorpion. No one chose dragon. I thought someone would choose dragon. By the way, you got to choose spider. Choose spider for. You can't see this, but in my stream layout, I'm pointing to Arakni here. Clan spider. Wink, wink.
I was. Well, at least in the CCG, I was crab and unicorn.
Oh,
but the unicorn was kind of like at the time. Unicorn was kind of like the Azalea of L5R LCG, where you're like, this is kind of good sometimes, but it's just not as powerful as everything else.
I play Crane,
but it does some cool stuff.
I played Crane Clan, and my brother played Shadowlands, which I think actually became Spider.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it became Spider eventually, but when my brother and I played, it was Diamond Edition, and it was long time.
But also Spider also got bounced as well. It was one of the clans that got de-established through storyline stuff.
I do have some.
That is one thing that we didn't actually bring up when we played Soulforge. Again, another card game, not really a trading card game, but a game that may see some more time in 2023. But they are doing storyline tournaments, which I think is very cool.
Yeah, but someone says, "Did these two lose track of time chatting?" Hey, welcome to the
totally
Ian and Kellen After Hours show. This happens every single time, and we usually turn off the stream. We just
recording it this time.
Yeah, we usually turn off the stream and do that. I actually have so much L5R. I could get out. So I have. Here, I'll go grab it real quick since we're still on the stream. It's something that's really cool. I wish other card games did this. It's so cool.
So L5R was one of the games that, especially the card game as opposed to the LCG, was one of the games that I loved everything they did around their OP and stuff. They had storyline tournaments and like boxes like this. It was all really cool.
So cool. This is so cool.
The problem was the game was just so long. It had a great concept, a great OP, a cool world, but the actual gameplay just kind of sucked.
So I believe 20 Festivals is one of the last, if not the last set that they did before they kind of went under, and then it got picked up by Fantasy Flight, and they did the LCG, and that one actually went under as well. And so this set, I believe, has all of the clans at that point. It does have Spider, which is this one right here. But what these are starter deck tins, so they're like super nice quality.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of those decks as well.
And then inside they have the starter deck, and then they had like 3 or 4 boosters or something like that. So you had starters and boosters like in the actual tin. And then let's see if I can. What I hate about these tins, by the way, and if any card game ever does this again,
so bad. They get caught underneath
the lip. They need to not have this stupid lip.
Yeah, I got a game loss at Pro Tour 1 of the Versus Pro Tour because I was using one of the Upper Deck PCQ winning decks, same metal design, and I was using black sleeves, and one of my black sleeves got caught under the lip, and in a sort of not well lit tournament area. When I looked at my deck box, I just assumed I'd had all the cards out of it, and I got deck checked, and I got game loss because I had presented an illegal deck because the one card had got stuck under the lip, and that's why I will never ever use a metal deck tin for a tournament game.
Yeah, they're
ever since.
Yeah, they're a little jank, but yeah, this comes with like a deck, like a fully built deck. It comes with an advanced rulebook and then a basic rulebook. The fact that they have to have 2 tells you how complicated this game is.
Again, they had some of the best OP. They had like a 6-month-long culmination race for the throne where every tournament around the world, your results for your clan would be put into the results, and it would determine which clan took over the throne and what your clan's position was in the new court. Also, with the culmination of the clan that did the worst getting booted from the game.
Yeah. So these are the ones that you said. This is crab and unicorn, right?
Crab and unicorn.
Yep. It's crab and unicorn. Yeah. So I believe
crab was kind of very brutish. To be fair, it was sort of a dude with a big club.
Yes.
They protected the seawall of was it Ronagan or whatever?
Rokugan. I'm a big fan of the Scorpion. Scorpion are kind of like assassins.
Yeah.
And so are the Spider. Spider are also assassins, but the Spider are more like supernatural-ish.
I was about to say Scorpion weren't necessarily assassins as more they were infiltrators. Very kind of Hydra-ish sort of taking roles in courts and being in prominent positions to sort of secret society almost.
So in each of these, there comes like a little thing that tells you about the clan, and like it has a little bit of story and stuff. This is the kind of stuff, we can bring this back to people who are still around who want to hear about Flesh and Blood. This is the kind of stuff that I really hope Flesh and Blood gets into someday, where like you have these starter decks, that's cool, but they just like have so much cool lore, and they kind of did that a little bit with the classic battles, but
that's what I kind of hope that the PvE is going to have, is that it's not just PvE, it's actually sort of quite lore based as well. So it's a good way to bring more of the lore, and I think we're still sort of seeing it with the stories that they're running, like the Icelander storyline from Aria, and like this Christmas special, the sort of like more interaction between heroes and stuff in the lore, which is kind of cool.
I think it'd be cool to play or try to play this again. It's been a long time since I played. I bought these after the fact. These are way newer than what my brother and I played. I still have my old crane, my crane deck back there, but yeah, the way that I used to win was, I believe, what I really loved about L5R is you had multiple ways to win. You could do the 5 ring victory. You can win through combat. You could win through honor. Was there another one like Imperial Favor or something like that?
Yeah.
But I tried to get honor victory with my crane. So I try to do like duels and try to get to win duels and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a cool game. I actually Steve Argyle told me that he was the art director for L5R and designed many of the logos for the game himself. That's why a lot of he did a lot of art for the game.
Sam Yang worked on on L5R.
He has like one or two cards, I think. He told me, and I
believe it was the first trading card, any trading card game stuff that he did.
Oh god, it's so heavy. Yeah, he told me, and I went and I found the card. So I've seen Sam Yang's L5R card. Yeah, that's cool. There's still, amazingly, 13 people. There's still 13 people here. We were up to like 30 or 40 or something at one point, 30, 40, 50. But, we're at like almost 3 hours in. But I think overall we're talking about like the next year, or this year for you, I guess. Card games. I mean, like, a lot of people think it's going to be a recession, like a economic recession. So, because of that, I think I mentioned this earlier, I plan on maybe cutting back on like the products that I want to do and that kind of stuff. Steven says, "Y'all still going? What's up? How's it going, man?"
Jump on board.
Yeah, he could. He could actually. But
yeah,
I think it's gonna be tricky next year for everyone, and I think I'm approaching it through my online store and through my offerings with hesitation, because if we are gonna have an economic downturn, then there's not gonna be a lot of people who are looking to buy extra stuff, and then like honestly like metal tokens and playmats and that kind of stuff. This is like extra stuff. So I mean, I do have an assassin splash art that's going to be coming out that Crovius is working on with me, like literally right now. And then I want to do at least one more, but probably not much more than that. And that'll be like way later.
And that's kind of fair. That's kind of fair enough as well. I mean, again, and this is why I'm saying it's going to be a very interesting year with so many card games vying for, for sure, spotlight, and people are going to be maybe a little bit more tight with their hobbying budget, and
I mean, for me too. I've thought about it. I've thought about like, if it is going to be tight. I cover a lot of games now, and I try to go not all in, but I try to like mainline at least a couple to make decks and make videos and stuff. So like I have a second channel, Wheatcross Zone, where I do Wheatcross content, but I've in the past like month or so been a little bit less with the uploads because I've been focusing on this channel and some other stuff. But like I'm at the point where I'm like, can I financially continue to do like a passion project like that's not really, making me money? And then like, and you take that to like just the player standpoint. And if I can't do that, and it's my job, like how can you expect someone else to do that? Like,
well, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. Like for me, I had a realization at the end of last year. I mean, I'm going to be moving a lot of my FAB product on, because much like you, when I first started, I wanted to have 3 of every card so I could play whatever deck I wanted.
Yeah.
But I had a realization. I never play Ninja.
Yeah.
I never play Guardian. I never play Warrior. But I've got all the cards, so I play a lot of Brute. I play a bit of Mechanologist here and there. I play a bit of Ranger. I play a lot of the UPF only heroes, but there's a lot of heroes that I've got a lot of cards that I don't use, and I think in a downturn like this, economically wise, obviously the competitive players are gonna min max. They're gonna play whatever the best deck is and stuff. But what I think you'll see is that a lot of the and we're already starting to see it this year with people like Az and that, with the Cult of Azalea really taking off. We've seen also the Brute Nation Facebook page has been really, really strong, really prevalent. Is that we are getting to a point in Flesh and Blood where there are people who enjoy the game, but they are concentrating on one class, maybe not one hero, but definitely one class. Whether that be just because they like the style of the game and stuff, I feel like the more classes that come out, we're going to start getting into that thing where the sort of step down from like the super ultra competitive win at all costs players are going to be more, a lot more character loyalists. I think 2023 could really be
it's gonna be
an
like,
insurgent.
It's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like this. You pick your team and you go for it.
Yeah. But yeah, and I think that's possibly what you'll see in content this year as well. I think you're going to see a lot more class-focused content creators, and I think that's a great idea. Like you look at someone like Mansand has really sort of led the way about. I mean, I know that he's doing a bit more competitive stuff now with the streams of looking into some other heroes, but he really led the way of getting your name out there as a content creator by being a fan of a particular character. Az is another great example as well. Really made a fan base of like-minded people, and I think we're going to see more of that in what you said. If we are into sort of a recession, I think you'll see those people, because there's still going to be people who want to play and want to be part of the hobby and stuff like that, but maybe not as much money is getting spent on the hobby, and so hence to keep your enjoyment and keep your activeness about it is you may start to hyper focus in on part of the hobby, which I think is what I think is great. I think it's great. I think it's really, and it helps new players as well. Is that if you start seeing these content creators, like if you see if someone really takes on Bolton and goes how Mansant went with Levia and goes and sort of full in on Bolton, and then someone else goes full in on Dorinthia, or a resurgence of a Katsu player who really focuses on that, and then that helps with new players come in and go, oh well, I don't know what hero I want, but oh wow, the resources are growing, because I can be like, oh, I kind of like the idea of Katsu, let me scroll and see what there is. Oh, there's actually a bunch of videos now, instead of just like the odd gameplay video here and there, or the 2 months that they were great in a particular skirmish season or ProQuest season, and then no one plays them again. Whereas I think in a recession, I think that sort of character loyalist is something that may come out of it, which I think is great.
I think from a content creator perspective, that is a very double-edged sword, and it swings. It swings heavily towards the negative after a certain point, because you will have heavy diminishing returns. Because if you're all in on one character, and I've talked to Az a little bit about this, but he doesn't care. So I mean that's the other thing. You might not care.
And that's the thing. Like not every content creator wants to get to 10,000 subscribers, right? You know, and that's where I think, like that's where I think there is a market. Like there is a market for being the Bolton guy with 1,000 followers who are all really into Bolton, and that's great.
It is a way to carve a niche, but the niche will be much more limited than the game already is. Because the way I think about it, I watch a lot of YouTube and I watch a lot of other YouTubers, and people talk about YouTube, and I'm stubborn, so there's some things that I just won't do that I don't agree with. Like, you won't see me going and like the thumbnails. Like, I just won't do that. I'm not gonna be like, and then like the saturation cranked up to like 70, and then like plain blue screen with like yellow sunburst. I'm not doing that shit. I'm too stubborn. I know it works. I know it's eye-catching, but that's not what I want to do here. But like at the end of the day, we're already in a niche part of YouTube, right? We're in a super niche part. So like card gaming in general is a super niche thing. And then in that we have like a niche card game in card games. And then you're picking like a certain character in your niche card game that's already like multiple levels of niche. So it's like you're really like, I know you're all in on it probably because you love it. And that's what it should be, because you should not do something like that to... Steven says,
no one...
Can you really be successful without reaction faces? Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. There's multiple channels that I watch that have millions of subs, so they don't do that. Shout out to... Here's me shouting out someone who's like 3 million subs. CGP Gray is one of my favorite YouTubers. Love Gray. He just does deep dive on random topics. Like, he did one on tumbleweeds, and it was like fascinating. Like actually fascinating. Like, I didn't know it's a horrible invasive species that like actually wrecks like agriculture and like farmland. It's insane. I actually appreciate that you don't do the clickbait craziness. I'm super stubborn. Actually, I was talking to the professor about some stuff, and we were both talking about how like it's really sad that a video's success is determined in large part by the title and the thumbnail and not the actual content. Like, if you have a clickbait title and a clickbait thumbnail, people will click it even if they don't care about like the thing that you're doing. It's just a good way to get views, and that's why people do it. And people measure success in views and not other things these days. So it's kind of a shame, but it's what YouTube actually actively incentivizes creators to do. Diamond is taking his reaction poses right now. I hope you take a lot of them. He's
reacting to us talking about reaction poses right now.
Yeah. So like it heavily incentivizes it, but it's not the only way.
Watch for Diamond's video to drop in 15 minutes of have these two content creators gone too far?
Yeah, right. But like, it's not the only way. So you can be successful in other ways. It's just more challenging. And for me, a lot of it is, well, maintaining my integrity, but also about community building and wanting folks to be here for the content and not for the clickbait. So I feel pretty strongly about that. I will probably never do that. But you still have to make it like exciting to click. You can't do like Flesh and Blood, Welcome to Wraith Booster Box Opening 1. Flesh and Blood, Welcome to Wraith Booster Box Opening 2. You can't do that either, because no one's gonna watch it.
To be fair, and no one ever listened to me back in the day when I actually worked for LSS, but I was really adamant that one of the few things that I really liked about UFC, and I thought it's something that we could have done with the callings, was I feel like they could have numbered the callings. So it was like calling 1, calling 2, like, and then the tagline of wherever it was. So there was actually like an ongoing, so you actually knew come 5 years down the line that you were actually playing in the 57th calling, which I think would have been kind of cool.
It's like Super Bowl mentality, right? Like
Super Bowl
stuff. But like for videos, that actually like heavily disincentivizes people from watching, because if you title something episode 7, like why would they watch episode 7 if they haven't watched episode 6?
I must admit, you shared a video when we were talking about four-person split screening. That was episode 49 of something. I was like, cool, I'm not going to go back and watch episode 27.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
I think about YouTube stuff a lot, and like a lot of the stuff like like the clickbaity thumbnails and titles and stuff. You have to do it to a certain degree, but there's certain things I won't do. And I'm not doing the surprise face. Like, nope. I think someone who does it very well, and I'm not just saying this because he's my friend, but the professor does it really well. So he puts himself in the thumbnails, but it's not always the same dumb surprised face. Like, he doesn't look like he's about to get hit by a truck every single time, which is what the other people are, or that they just won the lottery. He does it well, and so I think that's a good like litmus test.
No, fair enough.
And then like there's some other content creators that I watch that are like Giguk, who's an anime content creator who has like millions of subs. His thumbnails are like super good because it's just like one image with like a word or something on it, but it's like very like eye-catching. It's very cool. Like the way Giguk does it, I wish I could do it, and I maybe could, but I don't think it would do very well. He's big enough where he does it, and it does really well. He's got millions of subs. Like
must be nice.
Yeah, must be nice, man.
Some of us still can't get to 316.
You probably could. So the thing is like
I probably could.
If you
to be fair, I've kind of given up. To be fair,
I was gonna be like, man, okay, just be consistent. 1 or 2 videos a week. I'll tell you all like the tricks for like the description and all this kind of stuff, and then there you go. You could probably get there. You could probably get there. Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say because we're still live. I'm not gonna say me.
You know, to give all the secrets away.
Yeah. Nor will I say who I think is not doing it great. Yes. Diarmata says, agreed, he does do it well. I assume, too, he's regarding the professor, which, yeah. But, I mean, like, the man's been at it for a while. He's really got content creation down. And he's given me a lot of good advice, so I'm very thankful for that. Not a lot of, like, you should do this kind of advice. More like, I was like, hey, a big company approached me. They want to sponsor a video. What should I charge them? Like, what's a good price? And the number that I said was actually lower than I think it should have been because they said yes. And I was like, damn, I should have asked for more money. I'm too nice. Why am I too nice? Yeah. 1 vid a week plus good title plus thumb. I mean, you can even do like 1 video a month. There's some amazing channels that do like one video, but they're like, their videos are like movies, right? They put out 1 video, but it's like, it's involved. Like the heuristic studies from Magic, like CGP Grey, they put out 1 video, but they literally took them probably like 2 months to make. And they do well. They do well. It's different. Like the YouTuber that I just said, Giguk, same kind of deal. He puts out videos rarely, but they're always like absolute bangers. But I think for card games, it's really hard to do. I can't think of other than Heuristic Studies, who does like the art and the lore and the world of Magic. Other than him, I can't really think of any other big successful card games YouTuber. Oh, dude, Steven, Ian and I had a really good idea for a video, and I think it would actually pop off. No, I think it would actually be very good. I'm not gonna say it in case Ian wants to actually do it.
I know which one you're talking about.
Dude, it would actually.
I might do it. I might do it.
It would actually be like legit. Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I actually had a discussion. I had a joking discussion about that exact topic with James White about 2 weeks ago.
What, really?
Yeah. He kind of just laughed at me.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no one knows what we're talking about now. We're just like the 17 people still in chat.
It's fine.
Let me hear it. Oh, dude, Steven, it's a really good idea. Like it's one of those like, yeah, people would watch that for sure.
Anyway, I think as we have definitely deviated.
Yeah.
And
that's that.
And apparently a couple of hours ago we played some cards.
We played 2 hours of cards
good.
and then chatted for an hour about random crap, including and mostly about the card industry. Not always, but mostly about the card industry. We talked about some stuff. I mean, hey, it's sort of relevant because we're approaching the new year, right? And it'll be interesting. All I know.
Well, I mean, what are the videos that I am going to do? Because you can kind of see it going on. Like you would have noticed that my background's a bit different than it was last time I was here. Is that I over this period of time, I'm basically turning my lounge of my house into a games room that I want to set up, and so I'm going. I'm probably going to do a little bit of a video, sort of chronicling the turn from dumping ground to play area,
Nice.
which is what I'm trying to get to, and actually have some set up so I can do some live UPF, as well as just streaming one-on-one games.
So DM Armada just said, my reaction to your illusions is on Twitter. I'm gonna go onto Twitter and look.
I don't even know. I don't even know if I can. I don't even think I've got Twitter set up on my computer. I literally only have Twitter on my phone.
Caption. He just says caption this reaction pic.
Is the caption Red Zone Rogue said what?
No, it's gotta be. Oh, let's see. This is something that's kind of like going wrong in the community. That's what the caption would be. It would be like, oh, I don't know. I'll have to come up with something spicy. This requires more thought. I was immediately going to say something like, low tier deck actually S tier, and then you just crop this out, put a thick white border around it, so put a thick white highlight around it, and then put them in a background with a bunch of like explosions and maybe whatever the hero it is, and crank that hero's saturation up to like 90. There you go. Actually S tier. One 3 armories with it, or something. I don't know. Triple armor winning deck.
Undefeated on Talishar.
Undefeated on Talishar. My opponent left 3 times before I even was able to fight him. Oh my god. That's so good. 80% Talishar win rate deck. Oh. Oh man.
So deck so good never finished a game on Talishar because my opponents always rage quit.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, that's really good. Anyway, now I'm just browsing.
Local Talishar player can't understand why he lost at ProQuest.
I mean, you're gonna see it next year, man. Like I'm just saying. Like I think
2 weeks time when ProQuest happens, there's gonna be a whole bunch of people like, I don't understand. This deck was killing it on Talishar. I bet all the Levia players and Kano players and then I turned up to ProQuest and no one was playing the decks that I was playing against on Talishar.
I think the calling is gonna be interesting to see because I think Talishar is a cool tool for the people to practice and all that kind of stuff. But I think if you're like doing pretty good on Talishar and then you go to the calling, you're gonna have an interesting experience. Just saying.
Like, oh, yeah.
Playing against.
So your caption is Red Zone Rogue says Kale McCreath is going to fail at calling Auckland with Bravo.
No, I don't know. Kale's always. Kale's been nice to me, so I'm.
No, I just throw that in. I just throw that in because I've been hassling Kale about being a one-trick pony since 2019.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Like you go into your local calling and then you play against players like Kale McCreath, who have just been like.
We had like
it's going to be night and day.
We had a Worlds warm-up tournament where like 17 people showed up and like 8 of them were playing Guardians. I'm like, how is this a warm-up for Worlds?
It's like the team event that the team calling that me, Diamormata, and Jim played in. It was like we matched against. We did pretty good, so we got matched into the high brackets or whatever. But we got matched against Tyler Horspool's team and then Tarek Patel's team, and it's like this is what you're going to be playing against at these like big events. You're going to be playing against people who are like really good.
I can't remember what event it was last year. I think it may have been a Road to Nationals, even like the last Road to Nationals, maybe, or something. But or maybe it was a ProQuest 2 season or something. But like one of the card merchant events, there were four Levia players in a field of 17 or something, and I played. I literally played 3 Levia mirror matches in a row at the event. I'm like, I never played this many Levia mirror matches in my life, let alone 3 in a row in an event. It was crazy.
Steven says, we did all right. I think we had a lot of fun as well. We did do all right. And I beat the matchup that I teched my deck for, because everyone was like, oh, Oldham's going to be the center spot or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm playing Lexi. So I'm like, I have some Dreadboard tech against Oldham, and it worked. I beat the Oldham. Like, I got matched against Oldham, and I won. So I was pretty stoked about that. In fact, good. I also won against Prism. I beat Oldham. I beat Prism. I beat another person, and then the 2 games that I think we did 4 and 3. I lost against 2 Kanos. So they just blew me up. Like, they just killed me. One of them killed me on turn 1. Like, he literally just killed me on turn 1. So it's just like, yeah. You should have seen that. I should have taken a picture. He had all of the tomes like lined out, and there's like an Aether Wildfire in there somewhere, and it's just like, yeah.
And still, one of my favorite kills ever was I turn 1 killed Kano with Greiner, but the attack that I finished him off with was Yellow Swing with the Big Tree.
Nice. We went 3-3. Yeah, was it 3-3 drop? I thought we went like 4-3 drop, but it might have been 3-3. I don't remember. Probably.
Oh, actually, dear Mamada, you may not have been here when we pitched the idea of for outsiders, we want to do a UPF with the 4 blitz decks if you're down.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Assuming
there are 4 blitz decks. We don't 100% know.
Right.
But, yeah. I want a UPF variant of all Arachnes and 1 Emperor, and the Arachni all have crowns and regicides. I mean, yeah, you could do that.
You know what you could do? Actually, you could do a UPF variant where there's 1 Arachne, there's 1 crown, and every time the player with the crown gets killed, the monarch, being a monarch, it gets passed to another one. So you can see how long how many
the killer,
how many of the
basically
a killer.
Yeah. No, the killer should get the crown. So it's like, if you kill the person with the crown, then you get the crown.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be cool. You'd have to give him some incentive to do that. Like, maybe you get points if you kill someone with the crown, and the person with the most points wins or something.
Yeah. That's the other thing that I want to do this year is come up with our secret mission UPF deck that we were talking about, which I think is a really cool idea.
Yeah, definitely do.
For those who don't know what I'm talking about, we had an idea similar to like the secret missions in like a Ticket to Ride or something, where you draw a couple of cards at the beginning of the game, and you get points for exercising your special mission. So it's not just necessarily about being the last person standing. You can actually win the game by accumulating points from doing other missions and stuff like that. I think that's a really cool way to play UPF.
I 100% want to do that. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Anyway, we should probably actually stop. It's funny because like we were like stop. The viewers got down to like 10 or 12, and now we went back up to like 20. Just chatting, man. Just chatting about
Yeah.
Flesh and Blood. If you want to actually watch Flesh and Blood, go watch. We played 4 games. I'm not going to tell you the results, but Dash is good, and
Dash is real good.
I did not play Dash, so you take that for what you will. I played. It was 3 games. There's 3 games. I played Arakni, Lexi, and the Emperor. Emperor got kind of close. Actually, they all got. I think one of them was more of a blowout, but yeah, Emperor got sort of close. Emperor was close enough where like if I got the right draw, I could have like potentially took it. But yeah. Anyway, we should probably go. Well, thank you for hanging out. Thank you, chat, for hanging out. The 17 people who have left. Since I made that remark, 3 people were like, screw this. I'm out. I'm out. Yeah.
Like, this is a meta-defining Dex for my ProQuest season.
Nope.
No, it is not.
Maybe 1 out of every, I don't know, 20 or 30 videos of mine is going to be actual meta deck. And that's only if a deck that I think is cool does well and tops a thing. Then I'll be like, oh, this deck's cool. I'm going to make a video on it. Not like, you're probably not going to see a Dash deck tech from me, just saying. Or who else is the meta right now? I don't know. Oldham? Fi? Probably not going to see that. Icelander? Probably not going to see that. Unless I have Michael Hamilton on and he can talk about it. And then
that's what I figure. There's just so many. There's so many more people you should be listening to than me about deck picks.
I mean, Michael Hamilton has his own freaking podcast, man. Like, if you want to like hear from the best, go listen to Michael Hamilton's podcast. He's probably the best, one of the best players in the world for sure. Like, and he won Worlds, so if you should go listen to Michael Hamilton's podcast, man. If you want that, if you want fun and jank, and then also other things for Flesh and Blood, you can stay here. And occasionally we'll talk about some decks that may or may not be good.
That's right.
B tier decks that can be good is where it's at, man. Like
crazy ideas.
Until
what we're here for.
I say this now and then watch like Ranger and Azalea become like super push next year and they become like the S tier, like the best ones, and then we can be all hipster about it and be like, I played Azalea before it was cool.
Got your underground tapes before she went mainstream.
I do. I have them. I have like the bootleg tapes. Bought it from her, at an after show.
I saw Azalea live at Blackjack's Tavern before she was popular.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She signed my Mark for Death card.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's funny because I get it a fair bit here. At the start of every season, people will go, "Oh, Rhino's actually pretty good this season." I'm like,
everyone says that everyone says that every season.
like he was pretty good. Like he's always been pretty good. Like
I remember.
I would love to see. I'd love to see Rhino be more dominant.
I remember Pro Tour 1. Everyone was like, "Oh, Reinar is going to be the best thing." And then not only did no one play Reinar in the Pro Tour, but like the Arsenal Pass guys who were talking about like Reinar, maybe it was a meme, maybe not. I don't watch it that much.
Oh no, Hayden does love Reinar, but
they all came in with Kano.
Hayden's never gonna play Reinar at a big money tournament. Because like the thing is, Hayden keeps going back to Reinar. It's like an abusive relationship for Hayden, where he loves him. He'll take him to I think he's won a couple of like skirmishes and stuff like that. But every now and again he'll go to a tournament or like something like the Goliath Gauntlet or something, and just get run over, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, back to playing actual good decks as opposed to fun decks." Because that's the thing, Reinar, I would say is probably consistently one of the most fun decks to play, but at the same point can be super frustrating.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's if you've got to have the right mentality to I mean, and same with Azalea, right? Like it's about a mentality. You have to have the sort of mentality that sticks with stuff too, because there's going to be equal amount of downs as there are ups. In fact, probably more downs than ups.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway,
just
this is like about the fourth time that we said we were closing up shop.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, and I just wanted to, you know, moral of the story: unless you're going to try to win tournaments and you know you're staking your finances on it, maybe you should just play whatever you like, whatever's fun. If it's a good deck, awesome. If it's not a good deck, maybe your struggle's a little bit more. But if you still had fun, then does it really matter if it doesn't win as much? For me, I'd say no, which is why I like Assassin. And hey, who knows? Maybe the next set will make Assassin even better, and then I can be like, "Yo, look at my Assassin; it's great."
Because guess what, folks? This is a hobby.
Yes.
Even though it's Kel's real job.
Well,
90% of us, it's a hobby.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's some pro players who they're called pros because it's their profession.
There's not many in FAB though.
I mean, you got Michael Hamilton, Pablo, Matt Folks. They're the ones with the money. So, and even then, I don't know, probably not enough money to make a living on until the next one. You gotta keep winning. So that's why all the pro players from Magic turn to content creation and sponsors. That's where that's
right. We're ahead of the game, right? We jumped over that annoying having to be good at the game thing and went straight to the content creation.
Yeah.
That's the big brain play. That's
yeah, it is.
Shock face.
I'll just let everyone know as well that this whole stream, I don't think Ian's been able to see my actual face because of the way we're doing this.
Not at all.
He just sees my hands. So that's another thing. Because I have this set up where I'm capturing locally a webcam, and then I have another webcam through Discord, and then both of Ian's are through Discord. So he can't actually see my face. So anyway,
it's all good.
All right, so we're down to 10 viewers. We're getting down to it. Yeah, 11. Oh, more. All right. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Happy New Year's to those who it's been New Year's. We're starting to roll it out, so you know, East Coast is probably there at this point.
Yeah.
I still got 4 more hours, so
be safe, everyone, and we'll catch up with you when you join me in the future in 2023.
Yeah, and we'll do another stream next week probably if I can do it. As Robin gets better, I should have more and more time. But yeah, probably do something. I don't know what. Probably more Flesh and Blood. Maybe I'll win a game with Arakni this time. That's my goal. Have a good one, everyone. Bottom of the barrel viewers, haha. I mean, it's the end of a 3.5 hour stream, so you're still awesome though. Those 11 people here,